The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this tight end Big Business Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. This show starts now.
Football!
The program is packed today with great football conversations. Greg Olsen will join us in about 30 minutes, and George Kittle, tight end of the San Francisco 49ers, will join us in the second hour. Obviously, yesterday we had Kyle Van Noy on, heading into the AFC Championship. Now we have George Kittle joining us, heading into the NFC Championship.
Right.
Can't wait to catch up with both of them. Now, Nick Khan will be joining us in about 9 minutes or so. He's the president of the WWE. The WWE announced this morning that they just inked a deal with Netflix for 10 years, $5 billion to air their weekly show Monday. Raw, which has been around forever and has been homed on USA for a long time. Negotiations have been happening over the last few months. The whole world had known that. I don't think anybody truly expected Netflix to be the team or the home of Raw and live content going forward. This is a massive investment by them. This is a huge win for WWE and for Netflix as WWE continues to grow globally, right? That first W there. Whether it's back whenever you were following, if you're an old WWF or WWE, which it has been for a long time. That first one is world, and they are everywhere. And now Raw will have a home that is very much in promoting a global expansion. This is a big-time win for wrestling. This is a big-time win for WWE. This is a big-time win for Netflix. And we get a chance to chat with Nick Khan, the president of the WWE, here in about 8 minutes to see how it all went down.
Let's go.
Now, the Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. 9-year NFL vet, super brain, host of Everything DB, presents Good D and Bad D. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler. D. Butch now obviously packed that today with Greg Olsen and George Kittle and Nick Khan and all that. But we need to talk about some football as well. Don't you agree, Darius?
Absolutely.
Yesterday, there were some things being said. And it's not just yesterday. I guess it's any time this particular player potentially doesn't play the perfect football game. It's not only on the internet, but it's also in real life. I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander. This dude's in his second year.
Second year.
In the NFL, out of Iowa State. He was playing against Washington State just a couple years ago. Now he's in his second year in the NFL. Back-to-back NFC championships. Last pick of the draft. We all understand that. This guy was handed absolutely nothing through this entire process. And now it's like, well, we got to come out and kill this guy because he didn't have a perfect game in divisional round against Green Bay Packers. Well, I just want to remind everybody, here's some interesting stats from Hembo on Brock Purdy about this season, okay? Not just this season, Brock Purdy era with the San Francisco 49ers. Including the playoffs, the 49ers are 20-5 and average 29.2 points per game with Brock Purdy as their starter.
Is that a lot? Is that good?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. That's top 5 in the league. 29.2 in points per game. They're 17-3 and average 30.1 points per game when Debo and Trent Williams both play. One of those losses came in the NFC title, by the way, whenever he was knocked out in the first quarter or whatever. During the regular season, this one, he led the NFL. This is Brock Purdy. Basic ass, bomb ass, system quarterback, check down ass Brock Purdy, okay? During the regular season, he led the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per completion, first downs per attempt, passer rating, total EPA, success rate, and total QBR, okay? Check down, bad, terrible ass, basic ass Brock Purdy led the NFL in all those things. By QBR, okay, quarterback rating or ranking, whatever the hell they call it. He was the top 5 player at quarterback in these categories this season. versus man, when blitzed, when not blitzed, when pressured, when not pressured, in the pocket, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter, and on third down. Okay, so everything that matters, okay? And in the playoffs this season and last season combined, his QBR is a 67.6 on a 0 to 100 scale, which is far above, I guess, what normal, I don't know, that one's a bad stat.
Hambo.
And then on that fourth quarter, go-ahead touchdown drive against the Green Bay Packers, he went 6 of 7 and passed for rush for 58 of the 69 yards that they gained. If you do recall, Conley, now we got Kittle, now we got Jennings, in a keyhole, reading the defense, put it over a linebacker in front of a safety, just within fingertips of everybody, check down quarterback. Ayuk obviously makes an incredible catch for him, but what about the ball? What about the ball that was thrown there? This is getting absurd. I didn't think or expect myself to ever take a stand for a man named Brock Purdy.
Sure.
Okay, in my entire life.
Yeah.
Guy of Iowa State. Quarterback for the Niners. That's so far left on the map. I would never pay attention to that.
The 1 seed.
That's so far over there. No, I'm tired of it. This guy's in his second year. He's only going to get better. And now there's a story coming out that Kyle Shanahan told him he was the guy unless they could get Tom Brady out of retirement or whatever, and to which he was both pumped and bummed because he's a competitor. But he was also, once again, the last pick in the draft. He's not expecting anything. He was hoping to make the team. That's all he wanted to be on, was the practice squad. And now in his second year, back-to-back NFC championships and leading the league and everything. Darius, I'm sick of it. I can't take it anymore. I don't understand it.
I feel like everybody loved him early. You know, it was a great kind of Cinderella story. Everybody expected the shoe to drop at some point, and he continued to get better. Would you say 25 games?
Yeah.
So that's not even 2 full seasons now as a starter, even back-to-back championship games. I've been a fan of him since, obviously, he took the field. Obviously, you know, great players around him, great play caller. People are like, oh, is it him? Could anyone do this? But you look at all those stats. Exactly. And if he was drafted in that same slot, at 3 overall, it would be a completely different narrative about him. And usually, you know, like you just mentioned this game-winning drive, usually that's the argument with quarterbacks. Oh, he had a great game, but now when it's clutch time, when it's a playoff
They're talking about Karl Anthony Towns last night.
Yeah.
Had 62 points, only had 4 points in the fourth quarter. What an embarrassment.
Saying that about Josh Allen.
This guy, Brock Purdy, complete opposite.
And B dropped 70. They're calling him, oh, he's Dak Prescott. Don't let him fool you again. He's going to get to the playoff, piss down his leg. So, you know, this guy's only showed up, and that's what you judge players off. I judge them off what do they put on film. You know, you got to be a trigger man. You got to make the right calls between the ears. I'm sure, obviously, Greg will have a lot to say about him, George as well. But, I mean, he's done everything right, in my opinion. And like you said, second year, I don't care where he was drafted. I don't care what his expectations were for him. I don't care who he's playing with. For a guy to be playing the toughest position in sports, I mean, playing at this level is impressive.
Yes, he has a good team. Sue him. Everyone who wins the Super Bowl has a good team.
That's what you guys aren't talking about on that final drive. He threw it to Jennings, Ayuk, and someone who I don't know his name.
Conley, we learned it.
Okay?
Yeah, hey, great route out.
So that's it's convenient, you guys, to leave out all those weapons names that every team would die for on that final drive. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Conley was a guy that we've been talking about going into this game.
Bingo.
When they need one, Conley's going to get it for him. And that's what we've been talking about. And Brock Purdy somehow has this chemistry with this Conley guy, seemingly signed Friday onto their football team, right into a bet. I mean, what are we even doing here? The guy has the accuracy, he has the decision-making, he has the moxie, he has his team's respect. It's like everything you want. It's his second year in the NFL. And obviously, and Philadelphia Eagles fans, they know this deep down in their soul. We know they won. If he remains healthy in the NFC Championship game,
yes,
I think the reason why the Niners have had the year that they have is because they all feel the same way that I think some of us feel like, hey, that Niners team was ready to go. And ever since Purdy got dropped in there, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He got dropped in there, and it was like, boom, best team in football. And it's amazing how ready everybody is, and cleverly ready everybody is to kill him.
Yes.
And he gets murdered.
Well,
and I'm like, this guy.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the reverse Tom Brady. It is the exact opposite of Brady. So Brady, when he came in, he never got the check down BS, and there was never a conversation, at least I don't believe, that like, hey, his team's too good. The Patriots, you know, everyone around him's too good. But in the end, when they won in 16 and when they won in 18, it was check down king. Like, those were the things that were being said. Hey, if he didn't have a great defense, like, it feels almost as though because he's the last pick and not the 3 pick, you said if he was the 3 pick, it'd be different. I think if he was the 3 pick, it would be, you know, sure, this guy's great, but he can't win the big game or something goes wrong with him. Because it's the last pick, it's like, hey, forget the big game. Forget every game. This guy just sucks because he's the last pick.
You know,
he's not
those
good
Scots
at football.
can get things wrong.
Of course.
I wasn't even invited to Combine.
Yeah.
Trey Lance got picked 3.
Lamar went 32 after having one of the best college careers we've ever
Yeah,
seen.
Tom Brady won 199.
Yeah.
The number 1 overall was between Baker and Darnold, not Josh Allen and Lamar in that same draft.
They get it wrong.
Anyways, Brock Purdy, though, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it.
bullshit.
And when he starts to suck, if he starts to suck, we'll say it.
Sure.
Because wait until you hear the stuff we have to say about a basic-ass white playing terrible at quarterback.
Say it.
They've been
I
sitting
mean,
here.
we got
Kidding me? They're in the
We've been-
chamber.
you know the amount of basic whites we've been talking shit about for our entire life? I mean, we got them in the chamber. This one does not deserve it at this point. He's played phenomenal football, and the Niners are obviously in a beautiful place. Speaking of beautiful place, this man, self-made, okay? Had to go on Wheel of Fortune to win enough money to send himself to law school, which would propel himself to become a lawyer, which would propel him to be one of the greatest agents to ever exist, which then leads him to being the president of the WWE, who just inked a 10-year, $5 billion deal with Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the WWE, Nick Khan.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Long-time viewer, first-time caller or presenter, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you. Obviously, we know that you're forced to watch some clips every once in a while, so we appreciate that. And you've been an incredible mentor to me and a man that I've been able, like a consigliere, if you will. So I appreciate you mightily. And thank you for taking time on this incredibly busy day, legendary day in the history of the WWE. I just talked about it there, about the Wheel of Fortune run into becoming law school, into lawyer, into agenting, into becoming the president of a Fortune, what are we? Fortune?
Let's say we're Fortune 600, maybe.
Pretty good.
We're getting
Almost
Yeah,
there.
pretty good. Whenever you're dealing with everything that's happening, okay, because since you got there in 2020, obviously there's been a transition. Vince McMahon, Kevin Dahn, kind of both stepping back. There's a sale, obviously, to the Endeavor Group. You create TKO. Then you're able to negotiate this $5 billion deal while all of this is happening. What do you think is the reasoning on why you've been able to handle, and you and the WWE have been able to handle the transition so seamlessly, appearingly from the outside looking in?
Well, thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Pat. And by the way, always a pleasure to connect with you, talk to you as friends, consigliere, whatever role you say.
Get to it.
All right, I'll move it along. Thank you. Look, look, one last thing on that. There would be no WWE without Vince McMahon and Kevin Dahn. Both, in my opinion, the greatest of all time in terms of what they did and what they contributed to build what is now a massive enterprise. In terms of the transaction and moving it forward, you know, Vince was the controlling shareholder. He decided it was time to transact. He allowed me to sit side by side with him in the process to hear all of the different pitches. It was a robust marketplace. Endeavor had the best proposal we felt for our shareholders. And here we are with the Netflix deal being announced today, with Dwayne Johnson being added to our board of directors. We feel like it's a great start to what should be a beautiful next chapter at WWE.
Yeah, you guys have done fantastic. And shout out to Kevin Dunn and Vince both. They've been far too kind to me and all my guys.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see them down the road at some point. Netflix, I think whenever it was announced, caught a lot of us, I think, by surprise. You know, Netflix not really known to be in the live entertainment world. I think they've done a couple stand-ups live.
Yep.
I think Chris Rock had one that kind of went. They did some other stuff. Whenever you're at the market, in the marketplace, and obviously Raw has been on the air forever. It generates a number every single week, no weeks off. It is a high-valued asset that WWE has had and currently has. When you go to the marketplace, at what point did you realize Netflix might be a real player? Because we assume, because everything I've heard, you know, ESPN and Disney were potentially involved, Amazon potentially involved. Obviously, Peacock, NBC has been the owner of USA Network of Raw for a long time. At what point is Netflix like, yeah, we're thinking about getting in the game, and like $5 billion is a big jump into the game. When did that all come together, Nick?
Indeed. By the way, Pat, 20 years ago, because keep in mind, Raw has not been on USA for its entire 30-year-plus run. 20 years ago, Raw was on the Nashville Network, which became the National Network, which became TNN, which became Spike. SmackDown was on UPN. So if you look at the Nashville Network and UPN, fast forward 20 years to Netflix and NBCU with USA and Peacock, we think we're in business with two great partners. What we did, once the SmackDown deal closed, which will shift SmackDown over from Fox to USA starting this October 1, we focused or hyper-focused on Raw. It was a robust marketplace. We had a number of meetings. There was a lot of interest. There were a number of offers. And at the end of the day, to be the first movers with Netflix live on a consistent basis. So yes, I saw the Chris Rock special too, and the reality show after show, and they're doing the golf pro-am, which is all great programming. But 52 weeks a year, we're turnkey, as you know, you've lived it with us. The fact that they could come to us and say, yeah, we strike a deal and you guys do all the rest is something that they liked, and certainly something that we thought was in our direct wheelhouse. It came together over the matter of a couple of months, and we think it's a great deal.
Congrats, dude. Congrats on getting that done. You know, the USA deal, allegedly $250 million. This one, $500 million a year. What a dog. What an absolute. Look at the grin. Yep. Massive ordeal. Obviously earned by everybody in the WWE. What has been the reaction within the WWE with the people that you've talked to? A couple people, obviously friends of mine still in the business in there, say, hey, big announcement coming tomorrow. Big announcement coming tomorrow. Yesterday. Then when this rolls out, I think a lot of people may be surprised by what has been the reaction. I assume everybody's pumped. It's a massive global deal.
Overwhelmingly positive. And I think, look, if you look at the streaming wars, Netflix has sat at the top of that perch. They continue to sit at the top of that perch. So it's an entity that everybody, certainly in our sphere, has and subscribes to. We think it's a great way to grow the WWE audience while growing the Netflix subscriber base. So overwhelmingly positive reaction from our force of colleagues who really make up the WWE, who all contributed to this deal, to friends and family who are texting me the same.
Yeah, everybody's pumped for you, dude. You see the ringing of the bell? You're standing, hey, you're under the K. You saw it. Yeah, you saw it. You're under the K. Look at you.
Good spot.
Huh?
Listen, as you know, I'm a man of the people. I'm just a public school kid and trying to take it all in. You know the drill.
No, that's why it's so inspirational to watch you dominate, man. Absolutely. And I don't know, you know, your name has been one that has been whispered by folks around business worlds. And whenever I had an opportunity to meet you a couple times, and I think we took a picture one of the first times I met with you, and maybe The Rock was even, it was me, The Rock, and Nick Khan in a photo, I think. And I walked away and people were like, you were in a photo with Nick Khan? And I'm like, yeah, I was also with The Rock. And then the more I learned about you and your story, you're a dog, dude. You're one of the best we have in the United States of America. You need to know that. So from Vince McMahon, one of the greatest American dream stories, from a trailer park who was, you know, abused as a kid, turning a company into a multi-billion public conglomerate, to a man that literally Wheel of Fortuned his way into an entire career. It's like, it's a beautiful thing over there, Nick. It really is. You should take that in sometime. I know you got a suit on and you got to do your shit, but you did it, dude, legitimately.
It's kind of you to say, and look, just a little bit more about Vince, as you know, very, very rough upbringing, which you just talked about, to be able to hurdle himself to the heights that he got to and that he got all of us to. I'll always have admiration and respect for that. In terms of me, I just come to work every day like everyone else and try to move it forward. So I appreciate all the kind comments.
Yeah, and you put your suit on, put your suit on. Hey, last question for me before the boys have a couple, and obviously they're all big fans, and you've been far too kind. This dude escorted my wife into an arena because she didn't have a ticket or whatever. And then a couple months later, Sam talks to Nick, and she goes, nice to meet you. And Nick goes, oh, I was actually your chauffeur.
No.
President of the
This is true. Sam forgot about me.
Yeah.
That's how memorable it was that she forgot about me.
No, that's how low-key you are.
Yep.
Always just head down, no big deal. I'm going to get out of here. The president of the company is walking through an arena right now. You and I have complimented each other a few times here. And I told you to shut up there earlier whenever you were doing it and get to the answer. But why do you think you and I my record with suits is pretty documented at this point, publicly, I assume behind the scenes as well. Why do you think you've been able to reach and connect with people? Like, for instance, Ari Emanuel now, part of Endeavor that you are working alongside of, he was the guy. He was the agent. He's the super agent. He's the one in Entourage. And then everybody, the next generation of that was you. Why are you known as the super suit? Why do you get along? Why are you the guy you are, you think? Why is that the case?
It's kind of you to say, look, I would say this to you, Pat. Again, very kind and generous of you to say. I would say that similar to you, I believe I'm a good listener. And in terms of quote unquote talent as it relates to you, it's one of the first things I said to you after we were at a wedding together, randomly 4, 5, 6 years ago, pre-COVID wedding. I don't want to bring up COVID as a subject here.
Yeah, okay, Nick. Enough. Enough,
I
Nick.
was talking about the time.
Enough, Nick. Jeez. Congrats to the Coonans, by the way. Beautiful baby.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
David Coonan wedding. We were there, and I remember walking away from that because that was the first substantive in-person conversation I had with you. And I said to myself and others, I said, he's a tremendous listener. And you often don't find that with young folks who have had success and all of that. They want to talk to you about their success. You were not that way. I'd like to think in whatever success I'm perceived to have, I don't do that. Yesterday's yesterday. I start every day. The clock strikes midnight every day for a reason. It means whatever the highs were, whatever the lows were, that day's over. And you got to move it forward.
Okay, well, you've done that phenomenally, and I appreciate what you just said there. You and Hunter, seemingly, Paul, the cerebral assassin,
King of Kings.
the game. You two are seemingly the people that are being talked about as currently directing the ship that is the WWE. Is that accurate? And how has that been now that you two are kind of doing that?
Paul Levesque, the King of Kings, Triple H, he's
Hunter.
the one who introduced me to WWE. Hunter. He's the one who first introduced me. So when I was an agent, my prior profession, and I was trying to get into the WWE business, Paul had called me, unsolicited call, and this is when Tim Tebow had just gotten cut by the Patriots. Paul called me, he said, hey, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Paul Levesque. I said, oh, yeah, Triple H, I know who you are. I remember you as Terror Rising.
Yes,
his
WCW.
former wrestling name from WCW, exactly. I said, I know who you are. He's like, oh, you know WWE? I said, yeah, I know WWE. I grew up a fan. I was an usher at WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace. I said, what's going on? He said, hey, what do you think of Tim Tebow against the Big Show at whatever that WrestleMania was after the Patriots run? And I said, what are you thinking? He offered some financial terms. I called Tim at the time. What do you think? Tim and I had then a top secret private meeting, Tim Tebow, myself, Vince McMahon, Triple H in Anaheim, California, about that. Ultimately, it didn't happen. But Triple H and I remained in touch. And over time, he was the one who said to me, hey, I think Vince may want to meet with you. I think you told me you're going to be in Dallas this weekend. Dallas was where Raw was. I think you told me you're going to be in Dallas. That's good that you're going to be there, because if I told Vince you were flying in for the meeting, he'd say, don't do it. I may have to cancel. It's Raw, it's Raw, it's Raw. But I know you're going to be there. So plan on meeting with Vince. I went the night before because, of course, you don't want to go day of and be late and this and that. Nobody wants to hear the, hey, my flight was delayed nonsense. So I went. I sat in a hotel room. Paul called me. He said, Vince is ready to meet. I went to Vince's office, met with him. I pitched what I had to say. And we shook hands on a deal, and here we are.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're already going to be there, right? Yeah. Yep, going to be there. Yep, going to be in Dallas. Live in L.A. full time, but need you tomorrow in Dallas. Need you to do this. How about Vince, dealing with Vince? What a wild thing. It's awesome. I've talked about this before, and you tell me if you feel the same way. So humans, much like dogs, can sense how you're acting towards them. So, like, if you go into a room with a dog that has actual canines and you act scared, that dog is going to treat you like a little bitch. That is how that dog is going to treat for the rest of the time that you're in that house. But if you present yourself confidently and comfortably, the dog will act the same way in a court. I think there's some humans that are like that. I think there is humans that are at the top of the food chain and have been business-wise and are very sharp and smart and calloused and have been there, that if they can sense fear almost. And I feel if you go in confident and comfortable, that sets the tone for the whole conversation. I assume you feel the same way. And I did that with Vince one time. And boy, I'd never been more scared in my life inside. Outside, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's just Vince McMahon, no problem at all. What up, Vince? Handshake, smack in the middle. He went back, big laugh. I'm like, all right, I think I got him, even though I was shitting my pants inside. I assume it was different for you with Vince. But how was that relationship day one on? Was it great? And how much do you talk to him now?
By the way, if I remember correctly, there was a moment in time where you were looking around for your show, what you wanted the home of it to be. Yeah. There were a number of different suitors. I believe you sent Vince and I both a text saying, hey, this one enterprise, they're not responding quickly enough. I want to tell them to F off, something to this effect. Yeah. And do you recall what Vince's response to you was?
Don't, Pat. He said, don't. He said, say it in here. Don't actually say it out here. You say it inside. You don't say it outside. I'm like, but they need to hear it. In here. Yeah, that was his big response. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I remember it. It was amazing. And look, here's what I found with Vince. In a private setting, if said respectfully, you can say anything you want to him. You can disagree with any point of view. And the folks who have succeeded tremendously at WWE, Kevin Dunn, I'm not talking about our in-ring superstars. I'm talking about the executives on the outside, Kevin Dunn, Paul Levesque, many, many others. They all had that trait where you understood this is the boss. He was the controlling shareholder, the founder of the company, this and that. So you're not going to call him out in a room of people if you disagree with something. You're not going to be rude. He's polite by nature, as you know.
Agreed.
He prefers to be polite, but he's certainly comfortable if it has to go a different route. So what I found with Vince was I could say anything to him directly in person as long as it was in a respectful way, and he'd always hear it, and oftentimes he'd agree with it. In terms of how often I'm in touch with him, I just saw him today at the New York Stock Exchange. He looks amazing. He's still buff as can be, fit, suited up, and ready to go.
Does he have that mustache still?
He has the mustache, but as I said this previously, I said it to you. If you look at Vince McMahon, Dwayne Johnson, Paul Levesque, Ari Emanuel, they have a combined body fat of like 1%. So it's not for me to comment on anyone's physicality. If Vince is on the right to look however he wants.
Hey, that front row has like 6% body fat combined. Right underneath the K. Yeah, I'm okay with sandwich. I don't know, you guys, your taste buds might not be as good as mine. Mine enjoy pretty good taste.
You look very lean and ripped, though, dude. I will tell you that. I know. After the baby, when the baby came, it's always tricky, and no one, the attention should not be on the dad for any reason. But I remember you told me, you're like, hey, dude, I got to get back in shape here, and you did it.
Thank you. I was dancing with like 300 pounds there. You know what I mean? I was getting way fat. And then now the football season is winding down. This is the best shape I've ever been in at the end of a season, which is for sure. Normally season kills us, which is you guys 52 weeks a year. What are we even talking about? Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Nick, obviously Royal Rumble right around the corner and then WrestleMania not too far off. I think for a lot of casual fans who might not watch Raw every single week, but they will always find the premium live events and make sure that they don't miss out on that. Was there any discussion with Netflix about those being housed on Netflix as well, or where will the premium live events kind of be housed for the near future here?
Well, first of all, you guys coming to WrestleMania in Philly, April 6th and 7th?
I got the email from your office today, right? Remember I read it to the boys?
That's right.
Yeah, we're in. The link? Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Sure. Philly
Perfect.
cheesesteaks?
It'll be great.
A couple Johns everywhere. Oh, the Johns. Can't wait.
It'll be great. Look, our current partner in the United States on all the premium live events like WrestleMania is Peacock and NBCU. They've been tremendous partners. This deal with Netflix is for the premium live events outside of the United States, excluding certain territories where we have existing deals, like India, for example. But it's Raw globally. Again, a few exceptions there. But it's really a global enterprise with Netflix that should build to something even greater.
There's so many people in India.
So many.
Right, that's what I've been told. Go ahead.
WWE is the second most popular sport in India. And yes, I understand we're not a pure sport, sports entertainment. After cricket, you got it. It's WWE. Our partners there, Sony India, they've been tremendous. They're going through a merger that may or may not happen and all of these things. We'll see how that shakes out.
So you're dealing with all that every single day? Oh, we got Sony in India.
Right.
We got Netflix here, UK, Latin America's got this. That's every day of your life?
Listen, it's the job. I also deal with friends who can run hot at times, where if something on their show is going awry and they may hit me, I always want to have time for that too. I'm not referring to anyone here. I'm just saying in general.
There's been a lot of, this guy? How do I, last question here, Nick, from Darius. And this one, hey, put it on the plate of things that you knew were going to come right down the pipe.
Yeah, big question. 80s baby here, first of all, product of the Attitude Era, greatest era in wrestling ever. But maybe a stupid question. With this big move to Netflix, congrats again. Is it Raw still going to be on Mondays? Is it going to be Monday Night Raw as we've known it? Or is it going to be different days? What was that conversation like? And looking forward to this answer.
Yeah, we all are.
At this moment in time, it remains Monday Night Raw. But keep in mind, we got 10 and a half months until this deal's up and running. So we're looking at what you're looking at and what everyone else is looking at. You have the proliferation of gambling with Monday Night Football. You have an enhanced Disney package, better games, all credit to Jimmy Pitaro, the Bob Father, as Pat, you and I call him. You coined that term, Bob Iger, and all the other good folks at Disney. You got the Manning cast. You got this year, it was on ABC and ESPN, Monday Night Football. You got last season, the playoff game that they got, I believe, was Tom Brady at the Cowboys, or the season before, whatever that was. You also have the College National Championship, football and hoops on Mondays. So you got a lot of Mondays where there's stiff competition. That said, even against Alabama, Michigan, and the Washington-Texas game a few weeks ago, Monday Night Raw did a 0.6 in the 18-49 demo, which is a massive rating against big competition.
Yeah.
If we stay on Mondays, it'll work. If we move it to a different day, we think it'll work too.
Such a babyface promo right there.
Yeah.
Listen, here's all these other things. You hear these stats? Also, just still at a 0.6 if you need to hear it. I'm excited that you're taking all that into consideration, obviously, as football people that have a football show. So we're also massive WWE fans. I've said it numerous times. The only thing I watched growing up was literally football and wrestling, WWE. So to be a part of your world every once in a while, with how kind you guys have been to me, very grateful. Thank you for making time today. Congrats on all the success.
And by the way, I just want to say this coming out of the last month or so of the Pat McAfee Show. You guys have only been tremendous partners to us. You are easy to work with. So anytime I hear, I don't know, maybe it's not so easy, I find all of you guys incredibly easy, and we're grateful for that.
Well, you're a talent. That's why. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Khan. Thank you, pal. Yeah, he's a hilarious human being for me. There was a time whenever I was shopping the show where I had Vince McMahon and Nick Khan in a group text. And that's quite a weapon to have.
Couple power players.
That would help.
Yeah, people were like, what agent did the deal? It was like, well, I did the deal. But with that being said, also, there was a few conversations that were certainly talked through.
A couple
with
advisors.
Some of the smartest humans to ever do business in the history. Yeah, there was a couple times where, and I'm assuming the suits that were just watching that conversation, because the suits are going to watch that suit talk, just like how the suits will watch Bob Father talk, and they would watch, Ari Emanuel talk. That's what the suits do, So there's a couple suits right now that are watching that are thinking to themselves, "Oh, I was the person in that. You were probably." It happened numerous times. I mean, that is how it all went. He, the way he just can handle anything. All good is kind of his phrase. Anybody that's ever worked. He was an agent, never repped me. I was towards the tail end of his agency, but we knew each other when he was at CAA because we were repped by Coonan and Michael Klein there for a bit. I'm a tough sell, so not good to have an agent, imagine somebody else trying to talk. That's just not possible.
No.
So I was in that world. Nick Khan had heard about me through them, a couple of the things that I've said, and it made its way to him, and I think he had massive respect for it. And then all of a sudden, we just started talking on a regular basis, and then he becomes the president of the WWE. I had been at the WWE already for a couple years before then, so it's just I'm very lucky to call that man a friend, and also incredible job, too.
Yeah. Crush.
Incredible job.
Dominating.
$5 billion.
250 to 500.
Yeah.
That'll get it done.
And I think he called his shot, too, and a lot of people are telling him that he was obviously out of his mind. But, anybody that watches WWE understands, 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
And not every show is going to be packed full of just home runs. But you're going to get hour and a half to 2 hours of entertainment every single Monday, if it does move. And on Friday, you're going to get an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes guaranteed every single week. It's like networks and platforms just probably could not wait to dive into that thing.
Looking for that.
That's why having a 5-day-a-week, 3.5-hour program that is a little bit below average, it stinks, is a lot better than not having one of those.
Sure, exactly.
How about your question about Mondays? That's going to be
big night.
That's going to be the conversation.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that'll be the conversation with a potential Tebow Big Show match.
Dude,
that was going to happen. Are you kidding
Can you
me?
imagine a Tebow chop?
A holy chop?
Oh, my God.
He blesses Big Show and then chops the shit out
I wonder
of
what
him.
it was. I do wonder what it was with Tim.
chop.
And Tim, by the way, that Nick doesn't say anything for no reason.
Yeah.
He just said that because, Tim, he's not playing for the Mets anymore.
Nope.
He's not playing football anymore. Still in phenomenal shape.
Sure. Yeah.
Still Tim Tebow. That's not just,
No.
oh, there was this one time, because that's going to get sent to Tim.
Yeah.
And then his friends are going to say, you were almost
You know what? Maybe I should.
Big Show.
the Big Show. Imagine him taking that choke slam from the Big Show.
Tebow. I thought you were talking about Tebow choke.
That's
slam
what I
with
was
the Big
thinking
Show.
too.
Okay. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the #1 color commentator at the Fox Sports Network. Former absolute dog on the football field for the University of Miami, then the Carolina Panthers, then the Chicago Bears.
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Chicago Bears, Carolina Panthers. That's all me. He's handsome throughout the entire thing.
Always.
Was a part of my retirement press conference. He will go on to be a leading man in film at some point. Friend of the program, Greg Olsen.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing? Everybody's mocking your hair. They're saying you look like a rag. Have you heard that? Have you seen that on the internet?
No, it's real. It's real. I can confirm it's real. It's not great. I don't have a great hairline, but it's real.
Okay.
So we can clear that up.
So you did see that on the internet? People saying this guy's wearing a... Yeah.
The internet can be a difficult place, you know.
Really?
All right, Greg.
Is that right?
Everybody.
We'll just leave it. I don't know if you're familiar. with it, but we'll just.
That one ventured
What about
in.
your hair? Hey,
Yeah.
Is your hair? You've done nothing. That's just natural.
No, I did not wake up like this. No. There are some moves that have to be made to get the hair to look like this. But if I don't, I got like 40 cowlicks, so my hair would look worse than what yours looks like on Sundays. You know.
Fair.
We got a barber.
I'm not sure if I like the wording of that, but I'll take it.
Well, at the end there, I did turn it into a little bit of a burial, and that is on me. I made that decision consciously while I was speaking, and you didn't deserve that because I think you've had a hell of a year, Greg.
Unbelievable.
Hell of a year, Greg. You've done fantastic.
I'm not sure if all the round of applause makes up for the shot.
What?
Well, you got those, but you're handsome, bro. You got to deal with something. I mean, that's on you. 6 foot what?
5 7/8.
Jeez.
Yeah, 200 what?
We'll call it. We're in the mid to high 50s. Probably should be in the 40s, but it's been a long year.
Yeah, still shredded though. Handsome.
Yeah.
You can take a little bit every once in a while. Let's talk about the year that was though. Second year in the booth, right? And now the conversation is going to turn towards the future. But let's talk about the now. Feel like every game you call, you crush it. Do you feel that way? Because as a viewer, I think that. Are you getting better still? Do you realize it? Are you changing things? How are you in the booth right now?
You know, I feel like we've had a good year. I mean, we've had kind of a weird year. Last year we had just like thriller after thriller. Obviously the Super Bowl culminating in what was just an insane game. And Kevin Burkhardt, my partner, always says like we've kind of been penalized. We've had like an all-time Super Bowl. And then for whatever reason, our regular season and then first, obviously the wild card round with Green Bay and Dallas, it's just been like blowout city. And then we got back on track last week. Last week obviously was a thriller out in San Francisco, but you know, I'm learning stuff every week. You know, I'm fortunate that, you know, the group that I'm with obviously has been producing Super Bowl games and calling Super Bowl games for a long time and been doing this. So everyone kind of laughs. Like, I don't know all the terminology. I still don't know what to call the cameras. I'm like, I need it from behind the defense. And they're like, yeah, we call it like, so I'm still learning, but I got a great group. They're a blast. We have a ton of fun on the weekends. And I love talking ball. You know, I love seeing it. I love sharing kind of my vision and the way I see the game. And, you know, maybe not everyone loves that, but we feel like our broadcast brings a lot of a unique and fun element to teaching the game and showing the game to the viewer. And we're going to continue to do that. We've had a blast calling our game.
It's informative and fun. That's a good environment because you're setting the tone for everybody that's watching the game alongside you pretty much. You know, you're leading the party here that we're all watching alongside of you. And I think you inform with the best of them, and I think you keep it light with the best of them. So I think you're hitting a home run, pal. And I did see on your X account, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you quote tweeted an awful announcing post, which, you know, they're certainly something.
Oh, yeah.
That company is certainly something. But yeah, they are. They're doing it, though. I mean, they got to be proud that they're absolutely doing it. I mean, do they think about anything? Nonetheless. But this is all about the data and analytics conversation. And obviously, J.J. Watt on our program last week literally signed off the show with saying, PFF sucks. All right, have a good one.
Yep.
Because, you know, C.J. Stroud was ranked below everybody else in the first playoff weekend or whatever. So then that led to the entire stats community basically coming at J.J. that he was attacking the entire stats community. And then it was analytics versus football people. And it got real loud. And I think your answer was like, it's why it's our job to kind of inform people that stats are much more prevalent in the game these days than it used to be. And the balance almost of the football and the stats, is that kind of the point you're making? And where do you sit on it? Obviously, stats are a weapon, but they aren't everything too, right? I assume that's how common sense should be.
Yeah, I saw JJ. I saw his comments. Obviously, follow and pretty aware of what goes on your show on a weekly basis. You guys obviously are one of the best, and I know current players, former players, people in the business love listening, the conversations you guys have, your ability to have it. And obviously, so I see what you do with Aaron and JJ and Saban. I mean, it's awesome. And I saw JJ's post. I think there's a difference between evaluating players, which I think was more JJ's point, which is like pure grades, right? I think that is challenging. And I listen, I think the guys at PFF, we use a lot of their stuff before the broadcast as far as their data. We don't get really wrapped up in their grades. He's a 93 versus an 89 right guard. To me, it's not really that big of a deal. But the other aspect of it where I do think there's a lot of legitimacy is in the metrics, in the data, in the trends. And I think that was more the purpose of that tweet responding. Wilbon kind of gave a point about, he was referring to the 14-point rule now that's kind of become a big deal, where if you do score a touchdown, knowing you need to go for 2 to try to make it 6, the idea is to win in regulation as opposed to, kick 2 extra points and force overtime. And that was what he was referring to, because obviously it came up in the Tampa game. So I'm a big believer that we need to continue to educate the viewer why teams are doing this. I think you can't just say, this is the right move, and then just leave it dangling. Because if I'm a fan at home, tell me what the coach is considering. Tell me what the conversations during the week that have led up to this moment, what is the back and forth? What are the two sides? So I think the context of the decision is the important part. What the coach does, right or wrong, he's going to do. And not everyone goes by the book, and not everybody goes by the old conventional, old school model. So to me, it's more important not saying, hey, this is what the coach has to do, but it's saying, this is what they're debating. This is the two sides of this coin, and that's why this is the kind of the new way that teams are playing the game of football. And whether people like it or not, it's real.
Yeah, and it's happening in real time, too. All these decisions are being made. Hey, this percentage is this. If you were to do this at this point, this decision, well, we got 40 seconds on the play clock right now. Got to make this happen. You see mistakes. Anytime you explain somebody the why, normally they're a lot more likely to be on your side. That whole down 14, late, go for 2, boy, I was against it early because I don't want to see kickers gone. It's brilliant because the chances of you getting 1 2-point conversion out of 2 are higher than missing 2 2-point conversions consecutively. So you're inevitably going to get it, is what the thought is, if the stats say that. And then if you get that first one, all of a sudden, we're stealing a game.
Yeah, winning the game.
It's a brilliant. I actually appreciate the hell out of what that added, even though we have been a anti. Stats can't make every decision for you. Also, on the screen, I don't know if I remember Fox's, ESPN's says go for it. It'll be 4th and 25. And they'll be like, you know what? This amount of time left.
Gotta go.
How your defense is playing. Gotta go. I don't think we've ever seen it up there and it said, should probably punt this one, if you want to keep your job, which is another thing that a lot of people bring up, Greg,
Yeah, and I think that's the other side of the coin is people say, well, we only hear when it works. We only hear when it's a go. We only hear one side of the coin. So what you're saying is exactly right. I think the reason you don't have a score bug up there that says punt on your own 20-yard line in the second quarter on 4th and 15 is it's just conventional wisdom, and you just assume you're going to punt. But listen, what the bottom line is, whether people like it or not, this new approach towards decision making is real. It's happening in every single locker room, in every single coach's staff meeting. And as these new coaching hires continue to get younger and a new crop of assistants get promoted up the ladder, it's just going to continue to get more prevalent. And it is. And the last thing I'll say about it, everyone is so wrapped up in the outcome, right? The outcome doesn't make the decision right or wrong. We're going to go to Vegas here in a couple weeks for the Super Bowl, and me and Pat are going to sit up at the blackjack table, and I could be the dick that sits there and hits 18 until I get a 21. And one time, if I sit there all night, just hear me out. If I sit there all night, everyone on the thing is going to MF me all day, and they're not going to want to play with me because I'm stupid, right? I'm defying all logic. But one time, I'm going to pull a 3, and I'm going to throw a friggin' party. It doesn't mean it still means I was a dumbass, right? So that's the point is you can hit 16 all day, and we all been there, and we just hit, we break. Just because you break 20 times doesn't mean it's the wrong decision. So that's what's applying now to the game, and they're trying to increase every percentage of win probability they can. You could still lose.
Those sitting at 16 and not hitting, when there's an 8 or a 9 out there.
I'm getting up.
I get so mad because I'm sitting.
I'm getting up.
13.
Oh yeah.
Or 14.
I can't.
And I'm like, hey, this hand, this is not. You're not. Why are you doing that? Why did you?
Can't. I'll get up off the table. Like, I am a by the book guy. You start acting stupid with my. Because listen, you want to act stupid with your money?
Cool.
Fine. But all of a sudden, you start not taking cards. You start taking cards when you shouldn't, and the dealer should break. I'm
That's
not doing
tough.
it. I'm getting up and I'm leaving. I don't even care if it's my buddy.
Hey, there's some wild blackjack tables
I
out
thought
there.
16 was 50-50. If you hit it, you just keep hitting
Depends.
it all night. And if not,
It'll
if
come
you stay
back.
on it, you stay.
Yeah.
It depends, D-Bud.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
That's not because
showing?
it doesn't qualify. The hand
were you
doesn't
saying?
even qualify.
Right, good
Your
Lord.
hand doesn't even qualify to play the game. Like that is you hit. Yeah. We need to do the Dana White thing though. He did that movie 20. He knows the.
Yeah, he gets it.
He does the arms crossed behind the seat thing. He knows.
You're gonna start card counting.
Yeah, start cheating.
Yep.
Yeah, let's broadcast on ESPN too.
Galifianakis.
Oh, here we go. Here, all full of nonsense. Darius has something for you, Greg.
Hey, you did the game last week, and Pat opened today's show talking about Brock Purdy. Just want your thoughts. I know you sat down. I assume you sat down, had a conversation with him. Obviously, seen him play a bunch of football. You've been around the game a long time. A lot of great quarterbacks, play callers. What's your things? What's your thoughts on Brock Purdy, and why do you think people, hate him so much? It seems like right now.
I think it's a great question. I don't know why Purdy gets the heat that he does. I mean, you would imagine he should be everything we champion. He's the underdog. He's small. He's Mr. Irrelevant, last pick. I mean, he is not, and typically we celebrate those guys, right? We love Doug Flutie. We love Kurt Warner's story. We traditionally have loved everything about what those guys represent. I think there's this weird narrative that we need to punish Brock Purdy because his play caller and the people around him are really good. And we've covered them a lot. We covered his debut last year when he got his first start after everything went down with Jimmy G and all that. So we haven't been able to crack that code. Here's what I will say. I've been a big Brock Purdy supporter all year round. When you watch the tape and you see the big body of work, he's played at a really high level, and every single metric and every single stat and every wins and losses being the most important supports that. He did not play great last week. And it's okay to say that, right? It's okay to say, hey, that wasn't his best performance. But it's also okay to say, all that aside, when they had the ball down late and they needed a drive, he came through. And we judge quarterbacks typically by their moments in the biggest moments. And he came through. And listen, that doesn't mean, yes, he should have thrown 2 picks. That's completely fair criticism. But when the game was on the line, to throw to Ayuk, to throw to, he made some big time throws there without Debo. We have to give credit where credit's
Conley's a dog. Conley, we
Dog.
knew he existed for sure.
First rounder.
So I'm a big Brock Purdy fan, just supporter, just from covering him the last 2 years and whatnot. He's going to have to play better this weekend. I think they will. I think the rain and the conditions definitely played a factor. But the bottom line is he should not be penalized because he's surrounded by McCaffrey and Kittle and all these guys. He should be able to be praised in his own right.
Yeah, Greg Olsen was around Christian McCaffrey. We say he's a good football player.
That's right. Yeah.
Here's some stats from our friend Hembo about Brock Purdy, because how quickly everybody forgets. During the regular season this past year, Brock Purdy led the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per completion, first down per attempt, passer rating, total EPA, success rate, and total QBR. It's like the guy, second year, Greg. He's second year. He's still pop pretty much.
He started, 4 or 5 regular season games last year, took him to the NFC Championship, obviously got injured, and kind of a weird situation. So their season ended last year kind of with an asterisk because they couldn't attempt a forward pass for the entire second half. And unfortunately for us, we were there, and we called that game, and it was kind of like the Twilight Zone. And now in his first full season as a starter, he's back to at least the NFC Championship game for the second consecutive year. So it's just funny. We want to praise quarterbacks as championships, wins and losses. That's usually how we anoint guys.
Rings.
But we pick and choose the guys we don't give the credit to. It's very strange. It's a very strange dynamic going on, how we pick and choose which quarterbacks we apply different metrics to.
Yeah, but all those Super Bowls that everybody's won that everybody talks about those teams were bad. Quarterback was just so good.
Yeah, right. That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why they won the ring. The teams were all bad. That's a funny point you just made there, Greg Olsen. Hadn't thought about it.
I mean, think about the conversation right now with Josh Allen. I don't care what Josh Allen's playoff record is. If you have a brain and you watch that game the other night and you come across from that game that, oh, man, Josh Allen can't get over the hump. Josh Allen's owned by – you should not be speaking on the matter. If you didn't watch that game and come across and say, Josh Allen is incredible, I don't care if he's – that record is not indicative of Josh. The guy is insane. The guy is amazing. Yeah, Mahomes is also insane and amazing. But, like, we want to pin the losses on Josh Allen, but we don't want to give the wins to Purdy. It just becomes a very slippery slope.
It is. It's awesome. And you don't want to actually revoke the privileges of these people speaking. You were just shit-talking to a human for those that...
It was a hypothetical.
Yeah,
it was a hypothetical, but in some regards, no, it's probably legitimate. We're not going to get into the names, but that was a general hypothetical.
Hey, I tried to check him.
Yeah.
You want to... But it's awesome to kind of watch, and we're a part of the problem. You know, we're on every single day. We got to talk about things, and we talk about it. We try to put over everybody. But watching, to your point, about what we're choosing to attack, people just want to attack things. It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy to attack stuff, I think. And right now, we're getting to watch a lot of great football, even though stat just came out. Every single team has changed their offense coordinator once since 2022.
Yep.
We talk about the offenses maybe not being as prolific and the points not being as high, and maybe the defense is caught up. It's like, well, maybe this plays a factor into it as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody talks about the quarterback needs consistency. Well, if the quarterback's good at all, offense coordinator is getting a head coaching job. And if the quarterback's not good at all, offense coordinator is getting canned. So it's just like wild time right now for football.
And that's why, right, wrong, or indifferent, I mean, D'Amico Ryans, Mike Tomlin, we can go round and round about just incredible defensive coaches. What you just said is why, right, wrong, or indifferent,
Callahan,
owners and decision makers tend to hire offensive-minded play callers or just offensive-minded coaches to be the head coach. Because, to your point, failure, they're gone, it's irrelevant, we're all fired. But if you plan on having success, which hopefully, if you're hired as the head coach, that's part of the plan, you're going to have to replace your offensive coordinator if you have any level of success. And that is hard to pick. I mean, look at Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia loses both coordinators, struggles replacing either one of them, and now they're going to, all reports coming out now, are they're going to have to hire, this will be the fourth person to call plays for Nick Sirianni. He called plays, Shane Steichen called plays, Brian Johnson called plays, and now whoever this next... You think that's good for Jalen Hurts?
No, that's not. And hey, look at what's going on in Houston right now. I mean, CJ's a rookie.
Bobby Slowick's going to be gone, whether this year or next year. Bobby Slowick's going to be gone.
But CJ will figure it out. D'Amico will figure it out.
Yeah. They're incredible. Yeah, they're incredible. And I think...
that's tough.
Brutal.
That's tough to find.
It's just hard. It's hard. Everything you built. Now, whether Bobby Slowick leaves this year or next, who knows the timeline, but...
Commanders are saying.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, it is inevitable, seemingly. And that's
Detroit is going to lose Ben Johnson.
Almost lost him last year to the team that you have close ties with. Speaking of, Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Greg, congratulations on dunking on Schefter the other week. I think you're the first person to ever community note him, so that was incredible.
That baby, Greg.
Also, congratulations on your 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons that no one really knows about. Kind of messed up for you. But speaking of Carolina, I don't think you crossed paths with Dan Morgan when he was there, but because you've been in that building, what are they getting? What should Carolina be expecting? Do you know any of the folklore around Dan Morgan? Right now, currently, all we know about him is that his dad's Twitter, also X bio, says people suck. That's kind of it. So aside from that,
Dan Morgan Sr.'s kind of a dog.
He's a dog, so we're assuming Junior kind of strays that same path. What do you know about him, or if anything, and do you think this is the right hire for Carolina?
Yeah, all right, so bear with me here. I'm going to make a comparison that hopefully works out.
Take your time.
Dan Morgan's playing career, University of Miami, we did not overlap. I came after him. He was obviously a Panther in his time. We did not overlap. So you're right. I've never overlapped with him. I know him well just from his time, mostly his time here since he's been in the front office, in the last 2-3 years. His playing career, he was known. I mean, he has that all-time Super Bowl performance where he had 27 tackles or something. He was the most intense, physical. I mean, his demeanor on the field is known throughout the history. I mean, if you know of Dan Morgan, you're like, oh, that dude was a dog. Like, that dude was different. He was mean. He was tough. There's a little Dan Campbell persona there.
Okay.
When you strip all of that down, right, the Dan Campbell we all met, everyone's like, holy moly, we're biting kneecaps, we're yelling, we're screaming. When you strip all that down, of all the coaches we've met with over the last couple of years, Dan Campbell is as thoughtful, as intelligent, as a good a communicator, and as anybody we've met. Dan's got a lot of that, right? When you strip down and you remove the playing days and you remove the Mike linebacker that wanted to rip your face off, Dan is a really intelligent guy. He kind of cut his teeth through through Seattle, and then he was in Buffalo for a little bit before he came to Carolina. He's a really highly respected guy. He's very intelligent. I think he uses a lot of his playing days, lessons learned. Now he's carried it into the front office as he's made his journey now to this position as the GM, president of ops, whatever the title is. And so I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but
definitely does.
I think people that think of him as his linebacker days are like, oh man, we just got this tough, hard-nosed linebacker that was a crazy crazy white guy. And it's like, no. This dude is like highly intelligent, great communicator, great evaluator of talent. So I see a lot of parallels and similarities. And listen, I want them to do well. I live here. I want my kids to cheer for the home team. I want them to succeed, and hopefully Dan does that.
Yeah, sell some tickets, get Tapper on the right side of history with the NFL. There's a video surfacing about Dan Campbell, his first year in training camp, and I think he says, we're going to strain a little harder, we'll go a little longer, we'll think a little deeper. That was kind of the video that he put. That was one of his main thoughts, we're going to be hard, we're going to be tough, we're going to come a lot, but we're also going to think deeper, which is a beautiful thing. And whenever you see a barbarian on the screen, you don't necessarily think that. But Dan Campbell's obviously figured it out. Hopefully Dan Morgan can as well. We know one man that's figured it out. That's Greg Olsen. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate you guys.
Last
Always
game of
fun.
the year. You look fit. You look good. You should be proud.
Last game, man. My off season starts in a week, so hopefully you guys have me back on. I'll have a lot more time.
Oh, yeah. We would love that because you know what's going to be talked about next. Yeah, Tom Brady's sitting right over your shoulder there. He's actually that Miami helmet looking right over.
Right. There. He's right there.
He is just looking over. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Olsen. Thank you, pal. All right. That's real, though, that Tom Brady.
I know. And actually looking forward to knowing where he's calling games because he has to call games.
He's so good.
So good.
He's so good.
He's got to be number one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Him talking about Dan Morgan was cool. I think Carolina Panthers fans are going to enjoy it if there's any left.
Yeah, true. I don't know if there are.
You know what I mean? You don't really talk about Carolina Panthers much because very rarely is anybody going to see it. You know why? Because, who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Carolina Panthers fans have kind of given up even. They'll be back, though. Dan Morgan's ready. He had a cowboy collar.
Oh, yeah.
He will. He'll lead them back.
Yes, he will.
Carolina Panthers is coming back.
They got their MCDC.
Still need a head coach.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find one.
Yep.
With Dan Morgan?
Only one team can win the Super Bowl, though. 31 other teams are going to be pissed. AJ Hawk joins us in the next hour, as does George Kittle.
Okay.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take three.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel, the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margherita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnakowski. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram. Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's going to kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like he looks like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake. Just
Fucking bad man puts marbles in plastic
You need a boom-ah, my friend.
You guys aren't listening.
This right here, AI gave to me. A nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. This guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show,
What?
but because I'm gonna blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble. Hell yeah, Jack Carr. Hell.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pink. Damn it.
be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this tight end Big Business Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Football!
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
There are 4 teams left. We'll be talking to one of their tight ends in about a matter of 40 minutes or so. George Kittle will join us from the San Francisco 49ers. That'll be an absolute blast. Joining me now is a group of dudes that have been joining me for like the last 5 years or so.
Sure.
An incredibly talented bunch. Let's start with the talks table. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. I see you lone wolfing over there, howling at the moon. How do you feel, pal?
Yeah, I feel good. This is just one of those oldies. I wore this one a long, long time ago. Actually have all these shirts hung up right now, kind of putting my life together a little bit, if you will.
Wow,
So,
hey,
yeah,
here we go.
Scrolled through them, in the closet, came upon this one. I said, I haven't worn this in a while. I think I got it way back in September or August, so I might as well throw it on.
Yeah, because if you wear the same outfit twice, obviously you're going to be judged.
Exactly, yes. And, I'm not.
I would never do that.
No. And
Never.
I definitely haven't worn this one, before until right now.
Yeah, you look fantastic. And Ty, Green Bay Packers no longer in it, but boy, we got some great matchups this weekend in your Integrity hat.
Yeah, Integrity Farms. Shout out Randy Marsh. Shout out South Park. We got a big old box, a Keurig box. We thought maybe new coffee maker. No, whole bunch of South Park swag in there. You got your LA Kings Cartman figurine on your desk, and I don't know if we can.
There it is.
Wait a minute, is that you as a South Park character?
What?
That was sent from the South Park folks. I guess they watch our show.
Pretty cool.
Shout out.
So that means we're going to get absolutely destroyed in an episode at some point, I would assume.
Probably.
But also shout out to Frank, Trey, and Matt.
Yep. Shout out.
And for the hat, you look
Yeah,
fantastic.
great ball cap. I love it.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Tone, how are we gambling right now? We swinging a hot back going into championship
We
weekend?
actually are. The playoffs have been good. 7 years in a month is how long we've been doing this.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
7
I was in the NFL 8 years. So
That's crazy.
February 2017 is when we came out here. So,
My God.
boys, we're still doing it.
Wow.
Still doing it. Nobody would have.
No. Kidding me?
Nobody.
No way.
And a man who has been sprinkled along the way all season, Monday through Wednesday. We can't thank him enough. 9-year NFL vet, Jerry Shea Butler.
D-Bucks,
you've been around a long time.
Last 2 years here, we became teammates in 2012. So I just run it all together.
Yeah.
12 years.
I love it whenever you were thinking about getting into the internet. Harris was thinking about getting into the internet. You almost start doing the internet because great personality, obviously.
Smart.
Great work ethic, smart, understands it, entertaining, that whole thing.
Yep.
He was like, should I hire somebody? You know what to do it. I'm like, you'll hate them, whoever it is. You'll hate it. You'll hire. You just got to do it. You've gone full board. Hey.
Great advice.
You've built an incredible career.
Oh, yeah.
D-Bucks. This is a hell of a year by you. We're championship weekend. You've been crushing it this year.
It's fun, man. Fly by, but it's the best time of the year right now.
You're damn right. Joining us now is a man who has had success this time of year, both at college and in the NFL. He's the current president of Ohio, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Somehow no Pro Bowls, though. That make sense. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
Hawker, how you doing, pal?
Good. Hey, Greg was awesome, but that made me curious at the end. Do they have a plan? Have they said what they're going to do when Tom comes on to broadcast next year? Like, where's anybody going to be?
No. So, that has been the kind of, the dangle. He's like, Tom's going to take a year off, enjoy his life a little bit, probably invest some time in things that he hasn't been able to, and then he's going to join the Fox #1 team next year. And remember, it was
10 years.
Kendall.
Oh.
Kendall announced it on the call.
Yes.
Remember when that happened?
Kendall Roy? Kendall Roy?
Yeah, I think of the Laughlin family, though, on an earnings call of Fox, somebody popped off at the mouth and was like, we're paying $500 million to Tom Brady. So, so you tell me, and then it broke news. Tom Brady's going.
He wasn't supposed to say that.
Tom Brady's going to Fox. He's going to be the #1 commentator. And they're like, well, they got Greg Olsen. And then it became like a thing. And they're like, well, he's not doing it this year. It's next year, whatever. And Greg Olsen has only become like one of the top guys. Like that is what he has become. So what does that look like? We don't know. We'll cover in the offseason, though, won't we, AJ? I mean, that is an offseason.
Oh, man.
AJ. That is an offseason conversation I can't wait for, AJ.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, Greg's awesome, though. Greg and Burkhart are an unbelievable crew. I love what they're doing. I like how Greg was saying, no, we don't need to tell you, whether we agree or disagree with why they're doing this decision. We're trying to explain to you the options and why they take you through their thought process when they're making a decision like this, going for 2 or whatever it is.
I think they keep it light, too, which is beautiful. He's not as jaded. Now, if he was to do this for 20 years, would he potentially get jaded by some of the things? Maybe. And maybe that's what people hear through the microphone, too, of people that have been doing it a very long time, have seen a lot of things, have been around, and committed a lot of their life to it. Every once in a while, a fresh perspective is good for all parties. What will happen with Tom Brady and Greg Olsen next year? I have no idea. But I do know somebody's going to say, is Greg Olsen available? Yeah. We will take him. And his deal, we looked it up. Now, who knows what's real in the deal conversations, because obviously they've talked about ours and been wrong every single time and then printed it as a matter of fact.
Still running with it.
Still running it as it's a matter of fact. So you have no idea what's real or not. Allegedly, as the #1 guy, $10 million. If he drops down to the #2 booth, $3 million. But he does have an opt-out if he's able to become a lead person at another network. So there's certainly some.
There's only a couple #1 squads at CBS, ESPN, ABC, there's only a couple of those spots, and they're not firing those people right now.
Apple is going to get in the there's
Amazon.
Yeah, Netflix probably now with what we're seeing with the WWE deal. I mean, there's going to be a lot for talented commentators, so good for Greg Olsen and good for Brian Callahan. Former offense coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, although he did not call plays, he was certainly in the building when the success was had. Son of a legendary offensive line coach in the NFL, Brian Callahan, now the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Now, AJ, we had been told by numerous people that league sources assumed that Aaron Glenn was going to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, defense coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions still playing, so did that hinder a potential interview process, and they fell in love with Brian Callahan when he came in the building? Who knows? We just talked to Greg Olsen. We've had this conversation before. Hiring an offensive-minded head coach, make sure that you have an offensive coordinator going forward if you have success, because that is a massive fear for some people. Amy Strunk, though, fired Vrabel to get to the front of the line, she said, and now she hires Brian Callahan. What do you think? How are your thoughts on it? And how do you see it all going?
I wonder if they were already dialed in on Callahan early on from the jump when they fired Vrabel, or if all of a sudden he kind of jumped out at him once they brought him in for an interview. I'm sure they're obviously hiring him to bring him in for an interview, but then maybe they started thinking all right, this dude could be the guy. Maybe he is really the guy, and he really impressed them. And yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. Let's see. If you win games, it's a great hire. We have no idea right now.
We have zero clue. You're not winning any headlines, I don't think, with the Brian Callahan hire. But I guess you can think back to the playoffs when the Bengals won into Tennessee And Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times, I think.
Yeah, 9
and they
times.
still won the game. Amy Strunk's watching the game going, how the hell did they win the game? How the hell? We need a little piece of that. And we'll have no idea if this is good until a year or two into him building his culture and everything like that. Kind of a surprise, though, I think, by all parties.
Definitely. Kind of came out of nowhere for me. But even with the success that Browning had once Burrow went down to kind of keep him in it towards the end of the season, obviously, he had to do something positive. But Zach calls the plays there, right?
Yeah.
So once again, you mentioned it earlier in the first hour. Since 2022, every team at this point now has changed their offensive coordinator. We talked about it earlier in the year. Only 2 quarterbacks I can think of, Matt Stafford and is it Joe Burrow, has had the same play caller for at least 3 years in their helmet.
So you think Patrick Mahomes
Callahan calling the plays,
So
though?
that's
Is he
wild.
calling the plays in Tennessee?
Not
No.
the exact.
Oh, you're in Tennessee?
Would assume.
If he didn't call him in Cincinnati, why are they gonna? Is he going to come in and do it now all of a sudden?
Well,
for the
didn't
first
that happen
time?
with Zach, right? When Zach got hired from the Rams over to Cincinnati, he had never called plays before. And the first year, they're god-awful. God-awful.
Kevin O'Connell.
Suit. Yeah, KO suit.
years, I think.
Mike McDaniel. Like, there's been a bunch of guys that have had success that haven't called plays.
They did say they wanted to get to the front of the line, and this is the first hire that the team didn't already have the person in the building. So maybe this is a guy they wanted the whole time.
Vrabel's thinking to himself,
A Brian over a Mike Vrabel.
how about him? Let's do the Vrabel story now. And the Bill Belichick story. Where? I don't know. Harbaugh's in L.A. allegedly today.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of linked them together. Now, granted, everybody was linking Aaron Glenn to the Tennessee Titans, so who knows what's real and what isn't
Yeah,
at this point.
is he screwed out of a job now? Is Glenn? Are any other places is he high on their list that we hear of?
AQ Shipley is going to come in here tomorrow and showcase Aaron Glenn just out scheming the shit out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past weekend. And I'd assume that AQ's not the only one that has noticed that with Aaron Glenn. They fire the DB coach, and then the defense becomes the best defense in football pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And the players love it, and that's all I care about. The players absolutely love Aaron Glenn. So let's run it back just like Ben Johnson did last year. It'd be perfect.
They're saying Ben Johnson out the door, right?
Probably,
Yep.
yes.
But
Where?
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Washington.
There's only so many gigs available.
But Slowick is allegedly supposed to go to Washington.
Right.
in person.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume at this point, like leading up to and obviously with the Lions still being in, and if they win this week, does that still happen? But from everything that's been on Twitter, it's basically been like a 2-horse race between Slowick and Ben Johnson.
And they want to make change, obviously, and do their thing, bring in an offensive coordinator. Either of them are going to be, we assume, smashing successes. Not only when the hire happens, the fans are going to be happy, but we assume the team will get better whenever they're brought in there. But it's like you start playing musical chairs with these seats.
We keep forgetting about the Panthers too. I think we just keep thinking they're not going to hire a head coach.
Well, Dan Morgan.
Now Dan Morgan,
Vrabel
he should
might
have
be.
a good.
Yeah.
Will he get a big say in it? Hopefully, Dan Morgan has
Vrabel would be
a
a fit, huh?
big say in this.
Vrabel feels like the right guy. You know Dan Morgan?
I do not know him personally. I've been a fan from afar forever from that guy.
Because that
He's
would
the-
be Spielman, Holmes,
Yep.
MCDC.
Yeah, same.
If you were to do Dan Morgan, Mike Vrabel, it would be 2 alphas, and a real alpha knows when it's time to concede to
Yep.
another
Yeah.
alpha. I think it's how MCDC
Yep, that was it.
described Brad. Hey, let's go. If that was
That was
accurate,
it.
that was from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago that he said that. But I guess Vrabel has not really been linked anywhere. Bill Belichick's only been linked to the Atlanta Falcons.
Only. That's it.
And Schefter brought that up yesterday, and then I saw a bunch of people in sports media quote tweeting it and being like, we've been kind of mentioning this, like Bill Belichick's market might not be as big as everybody thinks it is, because a lot of people probably wonder if his style can win in 2024. The way he goes about doing things, especially at the age of 71, 72 or whatever it is he going to be able to relate to a team, build a team, and win for a team? I guess that's a real question mark, even though we were just blowing that off completely.
Yeah, then how long is he going to be there, right? Because we don't see him coaching, at least I don't, at least, past 2 or 3 years. And then like that power shift, like the power dynamic. Once Bill, just mentioned the alpha thing, once Bill comes into your building, like everything is, all the decisions are probably going to be, you would assume, be made by him. And it seems like it's a youth movement, at least so far. Callahan's, I think he's younger than 40. Mayo's obviously younger than 40. What's the other hire they had?
Antonio Pierce.
Pierce.
He's
What's
younger. 40 maybe?
40.
Still young, considered young.
Yeah.
So Vrabel at 48, but still a great
Still young.
coach. Obviously Carroll's out of there. Bill 70, 72. So we'll see.
Harbaugh, though, allegedly going to be the Chargers coach.
Yeah, but he's,
Yes.
No, agreed. Completely.
What is he, 60?
And he might also coach for 40 more years.
Right, exactly.
At the age of 60, with the way he goes about it.
He's got at least 10 of them.
Yeah, he's still got another story to be written about his coaching career. In the passing of the torch thing that he said to Root, John Root, I think is the guy's name. I saw him quote tweeted, Tom Root.
Mr. Root.
Johnny or Tommy Root?
Mr. Root.
Mr. Root.
Are we sure his last name was Root?
Yeah, Root was definitely in there.
Certain Root. That's going to be a name you're going to remember. Johnny Root?
Johnny Root.
Johnny Root.
Johnny Root.
Johnny Rudy.
Bam, there's Johnny Root right there. Yep, Johnny Root. All right, sweet. So in his interview with Johnny Root, he said there's a passing of the torch happening.
Yeah.
Now, I assumed that was Jim Harbaugh to Sharon Moore, but Schefter said he's talking about the team too, potentially. J.J. McCarthy gone, Blake Corum
He
gone.
let it slip. He let it slip a little bit and realize in the moment, hey, this works multiple ways.
Yeah, both of those, do make sense. I do feel that, but everybody's linking Harbaugh to the Chargers. And then Commanders, it's Slowick or Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Titans get Callahan. Raiders got Antonio Pierce.
Seattle, who
Saying
knows?
Dan Quinn
Dan
to
Quinn.
Seattle still. But they've interviewed, Vrabel interviewed there too. I don't know.
Let's talk about a team that currently isn't looking for anything new. The Buffalo Bills, after another heartbreaking ending of a season. And once again, 31 teams are going to be pissed every year. This is how it goes. And people are starting to call Josh Allen a lot of things. Is he Peyton Manning, Tom Brady with Patrick Mahomes? Is he actually Phil Rivers? There's a lot of people saying a lot of things about Josh Allen, who we went through his stats yesterday, has been phenomenal in these games in which everybody blames him for losing. Here's how he started his press conference postseason with, obviously a lot of questions on everybody's mind.
On the bright side, we woke up this morning,
Yep,
right?
we're alive.
We're all here.
That's good.
Um,
Anytime you're saying that.
Losing's
sweatshirt.
never fun. It's a part of the game. It's the worst, second worst part of the game. Obviously, injuries are the worst part of the game, but it's the reason why you play this game is because you don't want to feel this way. But when you do feel this way, it makes winning all that much more special. And this isn't something that we're going to run from. It's not something we're going to hide from. We gotta take it on the chin and continue to learn and get better. And I know that it's not what people want to hear. They want to see results. We want to see results. We're just like you guys. We want to win, and that's the fact. And at the end of the season, there's one happy team, and we're going to keep fighting and keep working as hard as we can until we are that one team. So long road ahead, long off season. Got to continue to keep putting in the work and getting better in the off season and getting together with guys and figuring out what we can do to get over this hump.
It'll be sweeter when we win, he says. You need the storm to appreciate the sun, and you need the darkest dawn to make the brightest light. This is how it goes. I appreciate the way he's talking about it and how it's a long run. We're not going to run from this. Obviously, everybody in there is pretty much contractually obligated not to do that. But I do think that at some point when the Buffalo Bills win, we're going to look back on all this talk about the Buffalo Bills not being able to win and think like, remember when we were saying this about Josh Allen and McDermott and everything they got going? Because they have all the pieces, AJ, don't they? The defenses have not done great in the games in which they lose. And we got a lot of love for a lot of people on that defense, obviously. But whenever they start bringing up these stats and analytics on how the defensive side has performed in these massive games against these great quarterbacks, it has not been fantastic. But that's playoff football. Do you still believe in the Bills going forward? And how do they get over the hump? AJ, why don't you figure it out for them as the Super Bowl champion?
Come on.
I tell you what, that's a great question that a lot of people and a lot of front offices in college, high school, NFL are all trying to figure out. What do we have to do to get over the hump? We have a good team. You could say we have a great team almost. We just can't figure out a way to be an elite football team yet. We can't win those games to get us into the next level, to get us at least to play for that Super Bowl. I don't know. As long as you have Josh Allen, your window's there. You're fine. You definitely have a chance. You're one of the handful of teams that can win it all, no question, if Josh Allen is there. Now, obviously they were unlucky with a lot of injuries, especially on the defense, I think, at the end of the season.
Yes.
So we'll see, man. Keep Josh Allen there. I don't know what – everyone wants to fire every head coach, don't they? If you don't win the Super Bowl, everyone says fire everybody, get rid of the whole squad. Well, they already fired their offensive coordinator how many games in this year? People forget about that.
Well, and Leslie Frazier was the D coordinator last year. They have a new OC, Joe Brady, who did a fantastic job, I think we all think, towards the end. And he'll get another head coaching opportunity or looks if they have success again next year. And then McDermott's calling the plays. You think they have what it takes? Obviously they do. Right, B-Butt? It's just they got a couple big bad wolves in the AFC right now, too.
Yeah. Well, obviously Lamar and then Patrick Mahomes, who's been on the top of that mountain shit since he took over. So it's going to be tough to get past them. But I said it yesterday. As long as they have, we always say it starts with the quarterback. I don't care who you hire, the head coach, who does this, who does that. It starts with the quarterback. Josh Allen has been phenomenal. But we all know it comes down to a few plays in these games, and they just have been on the wrong side of it, unfortunately. So we'll see if they figure it out. But it's tough. That's why it's so sweet when you stand up there and you actually hoist the Lombardi, because it is so tough to do. It took Peyton a while to get past the big bad wolf in New England.
Yeah, Dan Marino.
Yeah, never got
exactly.
What about, hey, Steve Young? You guys remember seeing the clip? Who is it that's like taking the monkey off of Steve Young's back? It's a famous clip from the sideline when he finally won the Super Bowl.
What year was that? I do wonder.
How long he had. I don't know how long the build-up was, but I remember that clip. You see it all the time.
John Elway, right?
Yeah.
This one's for John.
The end of his career.
We had that entire thing. Yeah.
See ya.
It's not easy, obviously. You got to have a lot of pieces. Got to make the plays. I think they're going to be without one of their big pieces going forward, if the internet's telling me right.
Yeah, definitely. Probably a couple.
I think Gabe Davis probably not back with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, he's probably out.
Why? What happened?
I mean, maybe. There's a video.
Looks
there's a video.
He's still injured?
He and Bill's Mafia were going at a little
He was a bit upset.
More than a little bit.
I mean, they're emotional. Obviously, you see, we're alive. Anytime you're saying, I'm still alive.
Woke up
I didn't fall.
That's
We're
tough.
still here.
You're down. And Gabe Davis was down. Bill's Mafia was down. And they were having a little bit of a spat.
Yeah.
Sure.
They'll be able to patch things up.
How did it start?
I don't
Do we
think
know?
so.
You say blue collar teams, they'll cheer for you until they'll turn on you.
Say that.
They certainly will turn. I mean, that is a blue collar shit talking town. I assume Buffalo is, just from what we've seen from the Bills Mafia and having to, deal with that weather that we all saw publicly for 6 months of the year. I assume they're a tough crowd, and obviously that place is electrifying. They will certainly help the team that they're cheering for.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
But if their team starts giving them reasons to potentially question the people that are representing their city, boy, that's coming as well.
Oh, yeah.
And those are some of the greatest moments. Now, Gabe Davis and Bill's Mafia got caught up in a situation. I hope they're able to mend fences. You don't think that's the case.
No.
But you're also a person who has rooted against the Buffalo Bills for a very long time. You said their window was over years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I think what I'm hearing from Super Bowl champion, how many years you play?
11.
I think it was 12. I think it was 12 years. He refuses to count the last year.
Yep.
And then there's 9 years here, so 21 years saying if you got Josh Allen, the window's still open.
Yeah.
But as a Patriots fan, it seems like you don't want to admit that.
Well, no, it's not about admitting it. I completely agree. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, there's no doubt about that. And having Josh Allen, your window is technically open. But like, this is the thing with the entire Bills team. It's like, yes, they're going to win 10 games no matter what. No matter what. With Josh Allen, they're going to win 10 football games a season. So, like, at a certain point, and I'm not calling for Sean McDermott's job, but at a certain point.
Dan Orlovsky.
Exactly. At a certain point, like, if you're just consistently doing the same thing every year, you're obviously not going to get rid of Josh Allen. No one's going to do that. Maybe trade him to New England. But you're obviously not going to do that. But at a certain – no, you got your guy. At a certain point, though, like, you do have to change something. And it's not personnel. And sure, their injuries were brutal. Like, losing Matt Milano's tough. I think Bernard got hurt.
They bring in Von Miller. They change the D coordinator. They change the offense coordinator. They've done stuff.
Exactly. They changed everything but one thing. And Bill Belichick's out there. And I don't want Bill Belichick to go to Buffalo. And I'm not saying they should fire Sean McDermott. But if they do this again next year, are we having the same conversation? And if they do this again the year after, because guess what? Mahomes isn't going anywhere, and Lamar's not going anywhere,
and Andy Reid's not.
And next year, you know who's healthy again? Joe Burrow. You know who else is healthy again? Aaron Rodgers.
You know who's healthy? Anthony Richardson. C.J. Stroud.
Herbert.
Exactly.
Also, like that's the Herbert thing. Like if we expect Jim Harbaugh to go, and like we know how Jim Harbaugh is as a coach. Like you don't have some analytical doofus as your head coach anymore. Potentially, if they hire Harbaugh. Sorry, we're just
that's real.
Hey, it's the way it is. Okay, guess what? Jim Harbaugh is a little bit better of a coach than Brandon Staley is. So if he gets in there, like, and he turns the Chargers around with Herbert in the playoffs, like that's.
Well, I don't know what Antonio Pierce is doing. It feels like the AFC is just rising, a very rising tide. Seemingly, it's only getting tougher. So the Patriots, their reign of dominance comes to an end. And then the entire conference is like, well, we're actually here.
Yeah.
So it sucks for the timing for the people of Buffalo and anybody in the AFC East. But also, I still think they're in it, obviously. I still think they're good to go. But boy, whenever they're watching the Chiefs and the Ravens this weekend in M&T Bank Stadium, they're going to think to themselves, there's top of the class.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
this Baltimore Ravens team, I don't think anybody's talked about them enough all year.
So good.
They are so good at football.
Filthy.
They mirror how Michigan plays. It's just like dominating football. And then you look at the score, and it's a 2-score game. And it's like, well, how are they going to come back? They're not, because you're not going to get the ball enough, because they're going to drain the clock if they want to. They're not going to make big mistakes. Lamar Jackson's playing better than ever. They're opening up the offense. The defense has the 2 best linebackers in football, people are saying, aside from Fred Warner and obviously a few others that they're talking about. It's like, from top to bottom, they got Justin Tucker. Now, punter Jordan Stott is having to deal with following Sam Cook, who's one of the legends, but also a very difficult stadium to punt in. Pulling in the middle of the field last week. Houston took it to the crib, obviously, their only touchdown. So their only weakness would be the punter, but the punter's phenomenal as well. He just had a bad ball. So it's like, from top to bottom, they are ready for this moment. And then you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, you think, well, Patrick Mahomes, just Patrick Mahomes. And there's going to be some magic, and he's getting a chance to experience it. It's like Bills fans have to watch with a reality in a pragmatic situation. It's like, those teams are better than us right now. Yeah. And they're better than a lot of people in this league. And I can't wait to see what Baltimore does with Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because we haven't seen them blink, really, the Baltimore team. They lose to the Steelers twice. They lose to the Colts, okay?
I mean,
That's
it's the Colts.
That's going to be – Colts are a tough out.
And they lost to the Steelers like 7 of the last 8. So, like, that just happens.
Which – could you imagine Mason Rudolph gets into the dance?
Oh, should have.
He has to go to M&T Bank Stadium, that whole thing. But it's like that Ravens team's been so dominant, nobody's talked about them at all.
No, because it's Georgia Bulldogs. You know, we're finally here. We can finally talk about them. They're so good the entire year. Same with the Niners. But
rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I thought that's why you brought it up.
No, I didn't even bring it. No, I would never bring something up like that.
How old was he?
10. Maybe 11. I didn't do the math.
That's a long time for those Bulldogs, right?
Yeah.
Good life.
Winningest Bulldog, most accomplished Bulldog in Georgia history.
Well, what number?
10.
I'll get 10.
I'll get X.
2 national titles.
The next guy's already in line and probably a couple years old. Or
He's
what?
already in.
Jordan Love, yeah.
Oh.
I'll go 11. He's currently serving as the team Ugga.
I don't know if his name.
That Ugga lost to Bama in the SEC championship. Something this Ugga refused to do.
The Ugga that passed, his name was, I don't know how it's pronounced, Q-U-E. It's either Q or
K.
K.
Well, yeah, in Spanish it's K for sure.
I would assume the University of Georgia would use a Spanish name.
Yep. K Paso.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, K.
What's that?
Yep.
What's that, D? What?
I agree.
Something about
wholeheartedly. Makes sense. K10. KX? Is that his name?
No.
Ugga's name was Q?
Q-U-E. K. It could have been an homage to Stone Cold. What?
Like Connor
They
Q?
didn't want to
Spanish?
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. He's a dog.
You're right. What?
K.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly.
He barks. K.
Why?
Yeah, he slobbers.
K.
And loud. Those Bulldogs are loud.
Oh, yeah.
I Mickey
You got a
Loomis.
couple of them, though.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. They snore, they lick, they do. They make a lot of noise.
Pope.
Yeah, it is the Mickey Loomis mouth on every Bulldog.
Bingo.
Ugga X, the University of Georgia's former mascot who saw the school's football team win 2 natties, has died at the age of 10. Born on May 27th, was a Taurus, obviously. Ugga X, fondly known as Q, died peacefully at his home in Savannah on Tuesday.
He had a 4-bedroom.
Good life.
Who did he live with? Honestly, who?
Ugga 11.
His house.
Yeah.
Ugga 6.
His wife
bingo.
and kids.
Ugga
What do you
6.
mean?
Yeah, Ugga.
Ugga 6 was the stud.
Ugga VI.
They've kind of studded Ugga 6 out because of the good stance that Ugga 6 had.
He's always sitting on the porch.
Rest in peace, Ugga 10.
yeah.
Q.
We'll miss you, Q.
Anyways, to your point, though, Baltimore's been so dominant all year, it's just been expected that they're supposed to be here.
Yeah, and just finally, it's, you know.
Which is crazy because nobody talks about Lamar and the Ravens like that ever.
No.
You
Not
know?
enough.
Not this year.
How many people you think
Why
are going
is
to watch
that?
this game?
What's that?
How many people you think are going to watch this game? Are these numbers coming out?
60.
Saw
60
million,
60,
at least
65.
60.
50 million.
I know.
Bills
Last game,
Chiefs.
right?
49 million, I think, right? For the
Yes.
Bucks Lions?
Yeah, for Bucks Lions. Yep.
50 million, 49 million.
Nuts.
These are absurd numbers. You know, we just talked to Nick Khan with the WWE, and they just negotiated a 10-year, $5 billion deal with Netflix. WWE is not getting 50 million people to watch a broadcast. Nobody is. The amount of power and leverage that the NFL has right now with all these streaming, like Netflix is in the game now.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the WWE thing shows me. Netflix is in the game. They got a big bank. They got big worldwide subscribers. Amazon already in. Apple going to try to get in this thing. They already did with the MLS.
Have you been getting the Apple notifications too?
Yeah, they have been doing that.
When there's a close game now for Bills Chiefs, on my phone through Apple TV or Apple Plus, whatever the hell it's called, they'll give you an update like, hey, 5 minutes left, close game, Bills-Chiefs. So they're obviously, there's some sort of angle there to get into the NFL.
Let alone some other platform that we don't even know is going to be created just to launch football, like Fox was pretty much. Fox Sports was basically founded around the NFL coverage. And it's like, they're in a good spot. Roger Goodell's in a good spot.
Great spot.
But you're right. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, in that stadium is going to do what it does too. That's going to be electrifying to watch.
Early Tony on the call.
Oh,
come on.
Oh, yeah.
Kidding me?
So many audibles out there.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Well, I don't know because Josh Allen's not playing. That's usually Tony's. He sticks with the wait.
I think Patrick Mahomes is a white 80 guy.
He might be, but Tony typically reserves that for Josh Allen. We'll see, though. He might throw a curveball this weekend.
Wonder what he does with Lamar.
Just circles.
Yeah.
So many.
So many different things.
Tony Romo is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he has nothing prepped.
Nothing.
I think he has nothing prepped.
He's just in the moment.
However this goes, it's going to go. Like, I don't think any of his stories, any of his gimmicks, any of his things, I don't think he's going in again going, God, get these in.
No.
I think he's just like, what is Tony Romo thinking?
Yeah.
Whenever the game's going. And I want to let him know, I enjoy the ride alongside of you, Tony Romo.
It's the best, which is why when he has nothing, well, shit, I don't know. Gene, what do you think, Gene? I don't know. I don't got anything for this. He's the best.
Yeah, and
The best.
You can tell that that's the feeling, too, from Nance. Next time they open up the game, and they'll be in the booth. They'll open it up, them, too. Just watch Nance. Nance
has no idea what's coming.
No idea. It's almost as if he is so nervous when the game starts because he doesn't know if right away Tony's going to do one of those or if he's going to just be giddy, happy. Because Bills Chiefs, he was so happy about Bills Chiefs before the game. He was grinning ear to ear. It was awesome. Like, it made me more excited before the game.
Do you remember when he had that piece of candy stuck in his mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh,
I never saw that.
He had like a cough drop coming back from
During
break.
like
Yeah. It was
Take forever to eat these Werther's Originals, Jim. Jesus Christ. Had it in my mouth a whole quarter.
He's the best.
Yeah. He's done the full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. God, I hate this guy. Man, he's the best.
That's the public perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been down here in this part for a while now. It would be nice to maybe turn the corner. Congrats to Tony for getting up there.
Yeah.
Way to go, Paisan.
Welcome back, Tony.
Way to go, Paisan. Big fan. There's going to be a lot of people watching that game. And then Niners-Lions, I mean, that is the makings to be huge. Obviously, San Francisco 49ers fans have been very faithful, obviously, and long-time fans. And now they have a lot to brag about. And then this Lions story, I think everybody's kind of getting on board with it, as they should. It's a beautiful thing happening over there. Now, when we talk about broadcast and coverage, and we talk about one particular situation, not everybody gets it right all the time.
No.
Tom Rinaldi has told phenomenal stories for a long time. We're all big fans of Tom Rinaldi. Tom Rinaldi is very nice to us. Tom Rinaldi has obviously done things and created things in the past that has made us think and laugh and cry.
What?
Everything. The whole gamut of emotions. Tom Rinaldi is a talent. He had a pretty hilarious line during his last game about Matt LaFleur, delivered in a Tom Rinaldi fashion. Guys, Matt LaFleur tells me that anytime Anders Carlson goes out there to kick, he just closes his eyes and he prays. Back to you guys. Now, the way that was taken, especially with the way that game ended, with Durs missing, was obviously its whole thing. Matt LaFleur, in a press conference, chose to address it. Here's him talking about the situation.
You apparently told them that you pray before every kick you guys have.
That was extremely disappointing. That's how that message got portrayed. I've been doing this been a part of production meetings ever since I became a coordinator, and I've never had an experience like that. But it is what it is. I talked to Anders about it, and I think anytime something's out of your control, kind of saying it in jest and having fun with it, but it got portrayed that way, and it's a learning lesson for me.
Yeah, I prayed before Crosby, too. They didn't say that.
Yeah, what the
I was
hell?
just talking about it all. It is all in the delivery of the information in those production meetings. I was never a part of them. Were you? And after talking to a lot of players and coaches, they got to give enough information so that the commentators can tell the story of the team that they would like. Like, hey, the reason why we're attacking this is because of this. You know, it is a dance in those production meetings between players and coaches and the coverage. But then there's sometimes where people will feel like they got by the commentary team or by the broadcast team. Numerous players have had to come out and say, I never said that. That is not real. That is not how I meant it, if that's the case. Because that one little line from Tom Rinaldi can shape an entire narrative about a guy who's already had a rough season. Yep. And the fans are like, all right, LaFleur feels the same way we do. It's a big deal, those things. There's a lot of trust involved in that whole game.
Oh, yeah. And I think we, pretty much guaranteed that Matt LaFleur will not be giving any information in future production.
Forever.
That's what we know. For sure. Yeah, he's going to mention it. He's going to reference it multiple times. Well, he's going to start talking. He said, well, now I've been burned in the past. Yeah, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Like, he's probably not going to give a whole lot of info because I can see why Rinaldi said it, but just in the timing and everything, how it worked out, yeah, it's something that LaFleur would probably say. Hey, I would say this for any kicker on the stat. Like, it has had nothing to do with him. It's just kicking in general is a scary thing for everybody.
Yeah. Have you ever been in Lambeau? There's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts at all times. So anytime we're going out to kick extra point or field goal, I just close my eyes and pray. And then LaFleur just walks out of that meeting, and then Tom Rinaldi's like, wait, you remember.
Jesus.
He did. Pretty big point of the game. A lot happening. And then all of a sudden, Durs is just getting crushed. I mean, you Packers fans have not been the biggest fan. He's following a legend in Mason Crosby.
For sure.
And he hasn't made, kicks.
He missed like 14 kicks this year. 10 kicks. If you're Chad Ryland and you're doing it and your team goes 4-13, no one gives a shit. Hey, we're getting the third pick. That's awesome. When you should beat the number one seed in the playoffs on the road and you miss a 41-yarder and you've been doing it all season, people are going to be pissed off.
Why didn't they bring back Mason ever?
I have no idea. I said that kind of in jest, and I didn't think they'd actually do it because we mentioned it. Like, that was kind of the team before Goody and all that kind of stuff, so who knows how that ended and if there was any bad blood there. I don't know. But then he signed with the Rams that 1 week when we were out in New York right before we saw him, and he went with the Rams, and then he went to the Giants right after that. And I don't think he wasn't great with the Giants. I think he missed a couple kicks, so I don't know if that had something to do with it. But also we talk about it all the time. Like, there's not just like a group of guys who you can at this point in the season be like, oh, this guy, like, we'll bring him in and he'll be unbelievable. Like, that's why you need to have a guy, because there isn't just a big scrap heap of kickers who you can replace your guy with and who are going to be automatic and who are going to be great. It just doesn't work out like that.
We obviously talk about kicking and punting a little bit more than anybody else because obviously, but like at this stage, it matters.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
It absolutely matters. Like Badgley kicking right now, the way he is for the Lions is a big deal. Now, the last extra point turned sideways. Right. Now, I don't know if that was him or the hold or if it got batted, but he's the only moody, young guy doing great for San Francisco, even though in preseason it was like, is this guy going to be able to make a kick? And then he just clocks in whenever the games start to matter. And on the other side, Butker and Tucker.
Don't have to worry about them.
It's like whenever it matters, it matters. Butker's one of the only humans to have a game winner in the Super Bowl. It's like, and Tucker is the greatest of all time at kicking a football. It is no questions. You don't want to have question marks at that particular position this late in the season.
No, you don't. And that's a part of it.
And you do close your eyes and pray.
Yeah. For a lot of them. And no matter who's kicking it. It could be Vinny, it could be Tucker. Shit.
You see this one literally for game winners on a regular basis. People on the sideline, on a knee, arm in arm, head down, not even watching. What do you think they're saying? Please, God, or gods, let this ball travel through 2 sticks, and my life will be so much better. It's absurd. And if you miss the ball by that much, an entire city, an entire organization, an entire program is gone. Never let your kids be kickers. Which
is what Carlson did. Like that 41-yarder, it's not like he missed it terribly. Like he just missed it by a little bit. And it's not completely absolving Jordan Love, but after the game I was saying, like, he throws that interception on first down, and you'd love him to live to see another play there and kind of move down the field. But I think he's thinking, like, we got to go down and score here. Like, we just saw what happened. Like, so field position, like, it's not like, hey, let's just get into field goal range and we'll let our rookie kicker send this into overtime. It's like, we just saw what happened. Yeah, I shouldn't have thrown that pick on first down, but it's like, I got to make a play. We got to go score a touchdown.
Tyler Bass has deleted all his social media accounts.
Smart man.
That's smart. From what I heard from
Didn't they do something, though? Weren't they like doing weren't they raising money for him or something for his charity? Somebody was?
Bills Mafia probably makes the most of any situation. I don't think it's everybody.
Yeah, not the ones talking to Gabe Davis.
Oh,
they have
geez.
they have a long history of the wide right situation. That's what I think it gave everybody. Oh no, they thought of that.
That
kicking sucks.
I
Kicking
mean,
would be
sucks,
awful. Why would you? I would not
I
want
thought
to kick
he
it.
made it. Literally, only business decision for me and the family is high school. Like, hey, if you kick this football good, you're going to get paid a lot of money. So we should do that? Yeah. Do you want to run 7 miles and kick a ball, or do you want to take 3 steps and kick a ball and get paid more money in America?
Yeah.
Or as opposed to Europe? It's like, I'd like to be a kicker, and I don't think I fully thought it through. You know, like whenever I was.
Why would you? Why would you at that age? Like
when I was like, I'm
you
gonna
shouldn't
commit
be
to
thinking
kicking.
through.
My mom, though, every game, worst nightmare every time.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I'd be sitting there in the stands like, all right, please we got to be up by 7 or 10. Please don't make this a 3-point game, and if it comes down to my son trying to drain a kick.
We're watching at Lucas Oil Stadium, and we'll watch a kicker come out, and it's like a 35-yarder, and I'm like, oh my God. So nervous.
Yeah.
Like, because so many things could go wrong that nobody thinks about. Like a kick earlier in that game, Holder wheeling.
Yeah.
New long snapper, new holder. He had his palm on the ball, and Carlson just makes it. Nobody talks about that.
Right. No.
Nobody talks about how that was supposed to be a miss. It was a make. And then if you just literally miss it by this much, it's over. That's why what Justin Tucker does, every time you see that thing just straight as an arrow, perfect end over end, it's like, that son of a bitch might be a robot. Like, might actually be a robot. 30-mile-an-hour gust and winds. Well, if you hit the ball perfectly end over end, like the wind ain't going to do nothing. Harrison Butker this past week hit a 47-yarder into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, I think. And they were saying it was like a 10-yard difference. And as the 47 was traveling, he was still looking.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have enough? His teammates were like, yeah, it's only 47-yarder. And Butker's like, I don't know if that's the case. And he sneaks it in. The camera didn't even have it.
The camera messed up on that, yeah.
The camera didn't even have it. It was so short. It's like Butker, Tucker in the AFC side, locks. Jake Moody is proven in big games to make kicks. Badgley has as well. Hopefully, this will be a weekend where no kickers get murdered.
Yeah.
Because this past weekend, there was a lot of kill the kicker talk. Anytime Skip Bayless goes to his phone and says, please kicker, it's like, all right, not great. Obviously not good for the brand. But this weekend, big bounce back weekend for the kickers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't do anything for you.
No, but and you also, I mean, it's not like you think he feels worse about it than I do? I'm sure he does. You know, it's not like he's going out there trying to miss. Like, he's going to think about that the rest of his life. So it's like I mean, it sucks. It is what it is.
You want to talk about thinking about things for the rest of their life? We look back on the Walter Payton Man of the Year speech Andrew Whitworth had.
Ooh.
And I forget who on it. I think it was Bleacher Report or maybe Omar did on SportsCenter or somebody.
Might have been the NFL too.
NFL might have done our NFL Social. Shout out to the NFL Social doing it. Hey, they've been picking it up.
Yeah, they've been very good.
They've been good. NFL social media has done something behind the scenes. We have noticed it. Congratulations over there. It's become fantastic. They mentioned the Walter Payton Man of the Year speech from Andrew Whitworth. And then obviously with what happened this past weekend for the Detroit Lions, listen to this. And it's hard not to get emotional while listening.
But one experience brought it all together for me this year. And it happened to me on a football field. In our game against the Detroit Lions, I had a young player from the Lions run up to me as soon as the final horn went off. And I saw him sprinting over, and I didn't know what was going on. Like we'd known each other forever. I couldn't place him. It made me so nervous. Had I actually played long enough that like a coach's son or player's son is playing against me?
Good pop.
He stopped that. He said, hey, man, you're not going to remember me. I'm Derek Barnes. You spent time with me when you were a young player in Cincinnati at the Boys and Girls Club, and it meant the world to me.
Wow.
You used to sit with me and talk to me about life, and I was just a little kid. I want you to know how much it meant to me. I said, man. He goes, you know what? The main thing I wanted to say, Whit, I made it. I made it to the NFL, Big Whit. Wow.
That's cool, man. That's
awesome.
cool, isn't it? Like, I'm actually kind of getting emotional watching that right there because I've had a chance to go to the same type of places here in Indianapolis and hang out with the same type of kids, to be on the field and then have somebody experience that. And now look what Derek Barnes is doing. It's a beautiful thing, you know, and for all the negative stories that come out of the NFL, which there are a lot of negative headlines, negativity hogs publicity. It's things like those that are happening in every single community in which there is an NFL team that are something we should all hang our hats on to say, greatest league on earth, greatest sport on earth.
Hell yeah.
And hell yeah, Derek Barnes for making it happen. And Big Whit being a good human, obviously, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing. It's easy to for people to, talk about when guys get in trouble and do terrible things, and it's not fun. It's not funny to talk about the good dudes, but we say it a lot on here. Yeah, sometimes idiots get highlighted, or guys that may say some things that may rile some people up, but the majority of the NFL players are actually good dudes. Like, even guys that you might not think, wow, that's a crazy lunatic out there. A lot of times those are your best teammates, your most loyal teammates, and the best guys you have. So, yeah, I think for the most part, the NFL is made up of a lot of good dudes that work their ass off. So I think it's awesome that Witt bringing that back now, especially after the pick, is really cool.
Yeah, hey, Big Witt, I made it. What a cool line. You know what I mean? That's a cool thing.
That's awesome.
Obviously, long shots, everybody to make the NFL, and then for that to take place, I assume Witt was very emotional after.
Oh yeah, and when you have that jersey on, you're like a superhero, sorts to kids and young people. You have that huge impact, and sometimes you can say the same thing that their parents or their coach or whoever's been telling them all their life, but hey, kid, stay in school, listen to your teacher. And it's like, oh shit. Pat McAfee, I met him and he told me that, or he spent some time with me, had lunch with me. He was just a human, and he showed some love. So to see that, and then obviously to see where Derek Barnes is now, coming off, probably his biggest moment, I would assume, in his career, and going forward. And then just shout out to Witt, too. We've been around him, just a great overall human.
Huge. Loves the hoodie under the sport coat.
Yeah, that's his look.
New trend. He started.
I see others start to do it.
Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy. Well, that wasn't a sports coat.
No.
Had the hoodie.
Never.
Well, Brock Purdy, dripless, swagless.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, that's what people are looking for.
No dreads.
I got a little emotional watching that whole thing.
Yeah,
I feel soft. I think it's because I have a daughter.
For sure.
No, it's just because it's awesome.
Yeah, that stuff.
But yeah,
is
the
so
daughter
awesome.
doesn't help.
It doesn't.
It's just like it's very obviously not the same situation whatsoever, but it's like one of those like military family things where like they are surprised by a father or a mother coming home from tour, and yeah, AJ's talked about that. He always needs a towel for it, but it's like one of those moments, like hearing about it at least. It's like, holy shit, that kid was probably 8 years old, 5 years old, and then he ended up in the NFL. Like, what are the odds of that? Let alone Witt being connected to him.
I think Big Witt's punchline was the best too. Wow, that is a wild scene there, because obviously Derek Barnes made his way to Witt to tell him, like, you're a big part of this. You know what I mean? You're a big part of this entire thing. You were a person that had made it, that showed me that you could make it, and this is how you can act if you do make it. Probably made Derek Barnes a better person, but in doing so, I hope it inspires others to give back, show face, and maybe inspire others. What a beautiful thing.
It was awesome. After watching it, I wanted to thank Big Witt, because Derek Barnes just made one of the biggest plays in Lions history, and now the whole city's happy, and he's kind of a part of that with that whole story. It was really cool.
Yeah, how about the Detroit streets just being absurd?
Oh, man.
You gotta love it.
Obviously, we saw Foxy on the local news, Fox 17, yelling in there. But, I mean, biggest game in the history of Detroit.
Yep.
And it was almost ended. Now, remember, there was a kneeling situation.
Yeah. Should have.
At the end of that game.
That's crazy. That's crazy that happened like that.
Isn't it? That's the biggest game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest game. Ben Johnson.
Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen.
On a field goal? Yeah.
Right.
Literally anything can happen on a field goal, on anything. Like, you get the ball back still if they are going to kick it.
Easily.
Tell you what, I don't know about other fan bases, but I know a few fan bases would be calling for the head coach's head if that happened.
Well, I don't think it makes anybody look good. Obviously, Tampa Bay, Todd Bowles had an opportunity there. But not just him. Think about the Lions let it happen, too. With that one timeout on
like
the board.
God snapping it with 16 seconds. That's why it all started.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is a 2-time All-Pro, 5 times Pro Bowler, absolute stallion, a model. I think he's undefeated in WWE as well.
Yep.
Incredibly handsome, one of the founders of Tight End University. Ladies and gentlemen, San Francisco 49ers dog, George Kittle. Giorgio, love the hat. What is the hat? Let's talk about the hat. That's beautiful.
Just Christian McCaffrey, man, just supporting my teammates out here. I think they spelled his name wrong, but it's close enough.
Yeah, zin, 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 no matter what.
That's right.
Love everything about the hat. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is a freak, as are you. And let's just dive right into it. Congrats on another NFC championship. You deserve it.
Thank you.
The conversation this week has been loud about Brock Purdy because of you.
Has it?
Yeah, because of you being on the team, and Christian McCaffrey being on the team, and Ayuk and Conley and Jennings and the offensive line and the talent. So now they're just, what is Brock Purdy like behind the scenes? Does he hear this? And what do you guys try to talk to him about all the bullshit? He's only in his second year right now, George.
Well, one, I do a pretty good job of avoiding it unless my mom is sending me links that, hey, did you see what this person said? And I'm like, Mom, I'm trying not to see that stuff, but thank you so much. Brock's fantastic. He's been consistent every single time, every single day I see him. He's wonderful. I don't know if he listens to the noise. I don't know if he reads it. I don't know if his parents send the stuff. He doesn't act like it. Just seems pretty straightforward and straight ahead. Actually, like this past game, I know it didn't go the exact way everyone thought the 49ers were going to play. It wasn't our best football by any means until you get to the fourth quarter. And then our offense, our defense, and our special teams are clicking when, hey, it matters most. And, hopefully that just rolls into the next game because, we found our rhythm there. But, Brock played really well when he had to. And there are also moments of the game where, Brock kind of expressed himself to our players. We had an MA somewhere and he's yelling at somebody. I'm like, that's what I need, Brock. I need you to yell at somebody.
Is that first time?
Not first time, but like whenever he gets like something happens like that where he gets to express himself, like there's a switch that flips. And the second after that, he was cooking. And so I was like, I'm not worried at all. Brock's on it. I'm good.
I love that second-year player holding people accountable. That's what you want out of your quarterback. Not always the easiest position.
Did you say second-year plair? Second time in the NFC Championship?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He stinks, dude. He stinks.
That's what everybody does in their first 2 years, right? They just take teams to the NFC Championship games. That's totally fine.
It makes no sense, George. I am baffled by it all. AJ has a question for you.
Yeah, George. Why? I want to know. Can you think why is that? We build Brock up last year when he comes in and kind of does something that we haven't seen before from a guy drafted his position so early on, and then people just love to tear him down. Now it feels like they're waiting for him to fail almost. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Are people tired of a good underdog story? Like, do people not want to see a normal person succeed? Like, I'm sorry that he's not like 6'4", 240 pounds, can throw it 80 yards, and has all these rushing highlights. Like, he plays our system perfectly. You see him; he takes the perfect footwork. He has great arm. He has great eyesight. He doesn't just throw checkdowns the entire way up and down the field. He tries to force the ball downfield to try to get the ball into the hands of Debo, Ayuk, and me. Hey, and if that's not open, Christian McCaffrey's underneath for a 10-yard gain. Like, he does all the things that you want of a quarterback, and people just don't want to see that for some reason right now. And hey, it is what it is. And I think I know Brock, and I think Brock's just going to keep playing the quarterback position at a super high level. And I don't think he listens to the noise, so people will just keep talking, and it is what it is.
This season, he actually had the longest yards per attempt in the NFL, too. So, it's all bullshit. Everything's bullshit, but what isn't is obviously that you have continued to just be an absolute beast. Blocking, running, with the ball, without the ball. Why do you think you're so good for this Kyle Shanahan offense? And without Debo, potentially, what does that mean for the whole group?
Well, I love football. I think that's the number one thing that is good for this offense. I love being out there. I love running outside zone, and that's what we're really good at. When we run outside zone and gap scheme, especially when you throw that in with Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams and Kyle Juszczyk, and all of our receivers blocking downfield, it's a pretty unique offense. And hopefully we get back. We didn't run too much outside zone against the Packers. Hopefully we get back to that, which I think we really will against the Detroit Lions. But I love football. I embody that every single play. I'm out there, try to give it all I can on every single play, and hopefully I can inspire some of my teammates to do the same, which they inspire me every single day as well. So when you got a bunch of guys that are inspiring each other, man, it's good football. I'd have to say that.
Yeah, I think so. We love watching you guys. Bunch of dogs all over the place. We talked about last year, obviously, how it ended and how you guys have looked all season. Now we're back. Right? We're back in the same spot. Have you guys mentioned last year? Have you talked about it at all? Are we trying not to think about it? What is that whole mindset when you think about it?
Well, we had a team meeting on Monday, but it was more of a, hey guys, good job getting a win. Wasn't our prettiest. Figured it out in the fourth quarter. Let's go look at Detroit. That was kind of our team meeting. So we haven't really, our first team meeting's tomorrow regarding the Detroit Lions. So don't really know what the message is. And no, I have not heard a word about, last year's NFC Championship game. It's one of those things where it's, hey, we lost our starting quarterback, and then our backup quarterback got a concussion right away too. So, yeah, we played the game without the most important position in football. So it's hard. You can't really dwell on it because there's not really anything I could have done differently, or anyone on the team could have done differently. So, yeah, hey, we lost that game, and we were able to flush it, move on, play at a high level, and now we're back with another opportunity and do everything that we can to not let that happen again.
What you do immediately afterwards? I don't know. Number one seed, buzzsaw. We just keep it rolling, Before we hit the hard out here off of ESPN to continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus, is that shirt made by Kyle Juszczyk's wife?
This one, no. This is made by Chubby's, and I did give this to Kyle Juszczyk though. So
Hey, your Chubby's is nice.
It feels like I'm wearing a blanket that, those really soft ones that your wife gets for your couch. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, well, I saw
We all know that one.
I saw you nude, I think, didn't I, on the internet with this Chubby's deal?
The pineapple.
You did. You did. Yeah, you did see that as well.
Hey, that was a
For the
big
viewers at
pineapple,
home.
though. That was a big pineapple.
Huge.
Some would say.
We'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus. I'm sure a much better show that's much more professional will continue here on ESPN in about 7 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow with White Wednesday. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Nailed it.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, that was really good. I was trying to text him and tell him what that was.
Yeah.
Like, hey, in the middle of our conversation, you're going to have to send it off ESPN. Of
course.
So we'll just keep moving afterwards. And then he said, wait, am I not on? Are you watching right now?
Yeah, I'm watching us.
Yeah, it's on a 30-second delay because people say fuck and things like that. So it should.
What?
Go ahead.
They say what?
Fuck.
Fuck?
AJ says it all the time, actually, George. Have you ever heard him say it?
Prick.
The only time I think I heard him say it was when the Packers lost to the Niners again.
Which leads
And that has no effect on you because you don't play there anymore, so it doesn't really affect you, but it's still fun. Hey, where's Ty at?
Yeah, you son of a bitch, George. It's just, it's so hard. It's so hard because.
Is it? Hey, go Pack, go the fuck home.
Listen, George, we all know you guys should have lost. You guys should have lost the game, but it's okay. Hey, good teams win. That's what they do.
I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
And I'll flush it because you're an Iowa guy, and you know what? You got Sam Laporta still out there, and Jack Campbell's still out there. So the Hawks are well represented in championship weekend, which I love. But I'm just curious. At halftime, was there? I mean, I know you guys are so good, so you don't really need like any of the rah-rah bullshit. But did like you or Purdy or Christian or Trent Williams or Shanahan or any of those guys, like, was there anything that needed to be said, or was it kind of just like, hey, we clearly are not playing our brand of football right now. If we just stay the course, we're going to be okay, and we're going to be in this thing with an opportunity to win at the end?
Two things. One, did my Go Pack Go Home thing? That's going to be online, so that's awesome. Good job for me.
Yeah, Go Pack Go the fuck home, actually.
Yeah. Awesome. Sorry to the Packers fans, all the kids out there watching. My wife's whole family is Packers fans, so when I hear that sometimes, it gets me triggered a little bit.
Okay, so it's personally.
They're pretty good now. They all wear the Niners stuff, but I had to hear that for the first couple years of my career. Kids don't say that at home. Two, really what was said is, hey guys, we signed to play 60 minutes of football. That 30 minutes was not our best football. We have 30 minutes to go out there and show what we can do. And like anytime you get up there and you have Trent Williams that he's an inspiring human being, like just his greatness and then the way he talks to the team. Like Trent, he doesn't talk throughout the week very much. You get him on game day, and that dude is. You see the Hall of Fame it just glows out of him. And so you get that from him, you get that vibe. It definitely makes you want to go out there and play at an incredibly high level.
Do you think the bye week, by the way, with the number one seed was something? I mean, obviously that's going to be discussed forever. It's going to be,
sure.
Is it a gift? Is it a curse? Are you rusty? Are you more fresh? It's like what happened with Baltimore. They ended up winning by 24. You guys started a little slow, didn't play your best football. Like, that's the conversation. Did you guys feel that? Or was there a little bit of timing potential or what?
Well, I thought the weird thing for us was, so we went from the Christmas Day versus the Ravens, fly to the East Coast for the Commanders, Eagles lose, we get the 1 seed, and hey, the next game against the Rams, while, every game matters, it doesn't affect our seeding at all. And so we had some guys not play very much. It's kind of like having the mindset to, hey, we have to flip the switch to go play a football game this week that ultimately doesn't affect our season, and all we're trying to do is really get through this healthy while not trying to get rusty. That's a kind of a really weird mindset, to be in. And so whether you could look at that as like we had 2 weeks off, kind of, most of the players did. Could there be a little rust there? I don't know, maybe. I think, just playoff atmosphere, getting back out there with the boys, it just takes a couple drives to get going, and eventually we did.
It was really coming down, too, huh? That rain was crazy.
It was, what was so weird about it was it was on and off. And then there'd be times I was like, oh, should I switch back to my normal gloves because there's no rain anymore? And then 10 minutes later, it's just pouring. I'm like, never mind. I'm going to stick with the leathers today. And it was great too, because we scored that last touchdown. And then as the Packers offense is going out there, just torrential downpour just started. And I was like, let's go, California.
Thank you to
I was
the
Levi's Stadium, baby, ready to go.
Go ahead, AJ.
What are you seeing from this Detroit Lions football team in your early film study? I know you said tomorrow you'll get your message and the game plan and everything from the coaches, but are you surprised at all that they are here in the NFC Championship? And what do you see when you watch them on film?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, not at all. The way that they play, you can just tell. Everything that Dan Campbell preaches is what the team is. Like, it's not fake. They're gritty. Wow. They're going to outwork you. They're going to out-effort you. They're going to put everything on tape. A thing that, one of our goals as tight ends is to out-try your tryhards. That's like one of our goals is every week. And that kind of seems like their mindset as well. We're just going to out-try you. And we're going to put more effort on tape than anybody else. And you see that. And they've got good players to match it as well. And I was looking really just at their offense. Like, I think Frank, their center, is a phenomenal player. Dog. Yeah, absolute dog. Huge fan of Frank. Met him last year at the Pro Bowl. Super cool dude. So I like watching their offense too. Laporte is fantastic. St. Brown's fantastic. Goff is playing at a high level. So their offense is doing everything they need to do. And hey, their running backs are pretty damn good as well. So they have a phenomenal offense. They're playing the way that they need to play. And our defense will do everything they can to slow them down. And then, on defense, they do some different stuff. Their secondary's playing at a high level. Their linebackers are downhill. They're physical dudes, and Hutchinson's playing at a high level as well. So, they have guys. They're playing the way they want to play. And, like I said about the Packers is, they're hot. They're on a roll right now. And when you have momentum and, hey, you're playing for that city, Detroit, you could see and feel the energy in that stadium. That is a huge wave of momentum that they're bringing with them to California.
No, I've heard some people say momentum's not real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, George, you need to.
Who said this? Was this another non-football player that said this?
Yeah, George. Yeah, we've been in the middle of it all because JJ.
See, I don't hear a lot.
So JJ decided to sign off. When we do that hard out right there? You said hi, Mom, or whatever. JJ took that time to say, PFF sucks. Have a good day, everybody. That was what he said. So then we got dropped right into a stats war. Okay, right into it. And then that led to seeing a lot of, okay, yeah. All right, you don't even have to say it. But I think he wasn't attacking stats as a whole. He was attacking grading stats, but then all stats came in. And then there's some people in the stats community that don't believe in momentum. I mean, they don't think it's a real thing. It's like, come on. If you want us to take you seriously, okay, you have to at least acknowledge something that is very real and has been since the beginning of time, George. But how do you describe momentum to somebody that doesn't believe in it? I don't know how you even do that. Good vibes, good aura. It's just something. Mana. Yeah, I don't know what you do.
That's outrageous. Now, if the momentum's going against you as a football player, you have to be we just got to stop the momentum. Get a turnover, make a big play, and it'll just get them off the field on third down, and the momentum will switch. But if you don't think momentum's a thing and you're just looking at analytics and, hey, if it's less than 4th and 4, it's a 90% chance that you should go for it. Shut up. All
right, George, you're going to get us in there again. All right, you're going to get us in there.
Pat, I thought your show is just all controversy like the last.
So you do know, George. Ain't that funny? I don't pay attention. Yeah.
Hey, I follow you guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, we love you too.
I know, man. Why, hey, AJ, how come you get so much hate for smoking cigars on the show? Why do people not like that?
I don't know. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. I don't smoke on ESPN though. I usually do later on.
Oh,
I know. Right. You're just confident in yourself, and that's why you can do it. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that from you.
I just enjoy it. Honestly, I just enjoy it, and it keeps me engaged, keeps me from being, keeps me focused, I think.
He falls asleep if he doesn't. This guy is falling asleep right in somebody's face.
That shirt looks amazing. I would be dead asleep in that shirt. Chubbies, I wear the swim trunks. Tell Chubbies they make great trunks.
The inside.
Thank you. I will.
They need to open up the inside a little bit more. I think there should be an option.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. See, and now I just came across my Twitter that I said, "Go Pack, go home," and now.
Oh, so I'm in it now too. Great.
I thought when you said we're going to go off and go to YouTube, I thought there was a minute.
No,
we were
don't say that.
Point finger. You do.
You didn't do this
that's
one.
Super tough. That's super tough. My mom's going to be mad at me for that one.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the Kittles, by the way. Incredible family.
Great family.
I'm actually okay with the Pack stuff because I did grow up a Bears fan, so it is what it is. Yeah, they tormented me for a while.
And by the way, you're talking shit. This is how sports go.
Exactly.
This is how it is. Conman, go ahead.
It's a little shit talking is good for rivalries and stuff like that. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sports.
We need it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you hate somebody. It just means
No.
In this moment, I'm on this side. You're on the other side. A lot of people are learning about shit talk through our show because a lot of our shit talk is potentially getting typed out.
Yep.
And then put out. Listen to what.
These fucking assholes.
And you read it too.
Whoa. Context here. I'm talking shit right now.
It's crazy reading it.
Yeah, anyways, you said some real serious shit about the Packers.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Connor has a question for you, George.
Yeah, I mean, George, you're one of the Final Four teams. Man, fuck them all. Like, what are we talking about here? Who cares? With the Levi Stadium, in the momentum you mentioned Detroit's bringing, how was the atmosphere during the divisional round? I assume there was a little bit, some tension, some nerves for a decent amount of the game, but how was it? And then what do you expect in here, NFC Championship? I think the last one was against the Packers in 2019, maybe 2020, not sure exactly. But what do you expect in there? And do you think maybe, the I don't know what the nation's called, the Niner Nation or whatever the hell it is, but
Empire.
There it is, Empire. Do you need to motivate those boys and girls a little bit, or are they going to come in ready here?
Dude, Levi Stadium in the playoffs is a whole level up. It's a whole step up from regular season. Like, we came out for kickoff, and it was so loud there. And it was actually a credit to the Packers. They went down there and kicked the field goal. But, like, it was loud on every single play. Like, they had to go silent on every single play. And, yes, like, when our offense wasn't playing well, they made some plays on offense. Hey, did it simmer a little bit? Yes, but, like, the crowd was in it the entire time. And then once we started getting some momentum going again, there's that word again, Pat.
That's not real.
Once that started again, the fans were just wilding, and it was so much fun. There's such a great stadium. It's such a great atmosphere, and they want nothing more than a Nick Bosa sack. That's all they want. And so Nick's going to give that to them this week.
Okay, shout out to Nick doing that, delivering.
Thank you, Nick.
Way to go,
He
Nick.
needs to deliver.
No pressure.
Is he still hilariously handsome over there?
Yeah. Buff, handsome, sponsored by Skims, huge quads. Yeah, he's got everything that none of us else have.
I mean, you're pretty close. I saw you with that pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Pretty close.
I heard they were thinking about using a hammer instead, but, one with the pineapple to keep things islandy because it was a bathing suit.
Yeah, well, Chubby's logo is a pineapple.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
That was
exactly.
the other reason.
That's what I was saying this whole time.
Yes.
Darius has a question for you, Jordan.
Yes, you guys talk about the crowd and momentum. So I guess game plan wise, you've obviously had a ton of experience and success in the postseason. How much different is it going from the regular season to the postseason? Do you kind of shrink down the playbook? Is it expanded in Shanahan's system? How is that for you guys?
Actually, I thought this game plan, there are some things that we were trying to do. Debo getting hurt in the first drive was definitely tough for us because, I was thinking the whole week that I thought Debo was going to have like 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. That was like the game I expected him to have. And so us losing him early, that kind of that messes up because we've been very fortunate to have like all of our best players been healthy all season. And so you've just been able to rely on that. And then we have a good rotation underneath that. We know when guys need to come in. But yeah, so him getting hurt definitely, we had to maneuver in a different way with our game plan, and might have looked like we were a little clunky, to start, but we eventually found that rhythm.
Yep.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that from anybody, by the way. I haven't heard Debo, a pretty big part of the game plan, actually. Yeah. So whenever you lose that, that's a thing.
It is a thing, especially, you do all the stuff where, like, we call it hezzy, so the H and the Z switch spots, like Christian, Debo switch spots, so Christian line up as wide receiver and Debo be in the backfield. So you see that stuff all the time, and when you take Debo out, there's not really anyone else that's got to do that, so it alters a lot of the plays that we have potentially up. And so, yeah, whenever you lose a guy like that who plays 4 positions for you, the best wide back in the NFL, yeah, it definitely alters things. And, luckily, Coach Shanahan's still very good at what he does, and he was able to, get guys the ball when they need to get the ball.
Debo, not only phenomenal on the football field, also the first one off the bus. Speaking of, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, I do. And I was actually just thinking, if you guys win the Super Bowl, you should probably be a cameo in season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm thinking that's something you should be in. And then for the
so good,
so good. And for the Boombox, do you pick the song? Correct? Is that what I heard? I heard that correctly. You pick the song for the Boombox when everyone's coming out.
It's always me. That's why I'm like the last person out of the locker room. But I picked the song though for the boys.
Do you really?
No.
Damn it!
No,
you sold it there pretty good.
Yeah,
because you said at the very end, like, all right, so he doesn't. He's mocking it, but then you delivered it at the end, like,
yeah, I do.
I do that.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Thank
it's a
you.
surprise every week. Oh, George killing them. Absolutely. Well, good luck to us.
No.
What's today look like?
What's today look like? It's just get my body put back into one piece so then I could go out and play on Sunday at a super high level. That's my Tuesday.
How do you feel here? What, 21 weeks in? 20 weeks in? What is it?
including training camp. I think we're in week 26.
Woo. How do we feel?
It's fun.
I'm breathing. I'm the 1 seed playing at home in the NFC Championship game. It doesn't matter how I feel, Pat. It doesn't matter.
Boom. Football. I love football.
Doesn't matter.
Boom. Do I have a heartbeat? All right. Well, enjoy the hell out of the week. We appreciate you making time, and I'm excited to hear how the Packers fans respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shoot. Darn it. You got me. I blame Ty.
Hey, listen, I got no problem with it, George, okay? Especially when you play the way you did on Saturday night. You do what you got to do, brother. Okay?
Ty, I got a question for you, Ty. What's up with all the Caitlin Clark hate right now? Like saying that she's flopping from the Ohio State person hitting her?
George, I said it yesterday. A lot of people are saying that she's flopping, okay? That was a fucking hired assassin, okay? Ohio State has to come back to Carver later in the year. You think they're not some student? Okay. Someone gave that girl $500, said, hey, go run into Caitlin Clark, try to break both of her arms so that she's done for the rest of the year. It's horse shit. I don't like it, but hey, when you're on top, that's what's going to happen.
It is what it is. Caitlin Clark looked like she was running a shallow across the middle, and AJ Hawk just jumped out and smoked her, and she didn't see her coming. That's what it looked like.
It's Ohio, too.
Boom! What is that?
She's all by herself, too.
That girl needs some awareness.
Go back to the phone. Does she look to her left first to see Caitlin?
I don't think she sees her on the last step, but at that point, there's not much you're gonna do there, and so she's just kind of bracing herself. Anyone that's coming at her for selling a fake injury, it's like.
Yeah, that's what Caitlin Clark's going to do.
After a game. Come on. This girl, after she just put up, 45?
Yeah, played 55 minutes and scored 45 points.
She's coming to the Indiana Fever, George.
Hell yeah.
Hey, all I know is that the University of Iowa has 2 Gatorade athletes, and that's pretty cool.
Ooh. No big deal.
Me and Caitlin.
Oh.
That's pretty sick.
Hold on, Claire?
What does Ohio State have?
What did Claire play? Claire played...
Claire's basketball.
Yeah.
She got ties to that women's basketball team. Caitlin Clark is
she does.
Phenomenal. Oh. I assume everybody feels that way in Iowa, yeah?
Yeah, I think, she's going to run for governor, mayor at some point. She's just going to run the whole state at some point.
As she should.
She should.
But first, she's got to take the Indiana Fever to the WNBA championship.
Yeah, take down 3 more COVID years. She'll be at Iowa till she's 35.
Let's not even put that in the universe. No.
Worth it.
Absolutely worth it.
No, we need her here now.
All right, you're the man.
Oh, boys.
Good luck this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. George Kittle.
Yeah, George.
Sorry, Packers, he said at the end, even though it got cut off and nobody's going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's okay. That was good. That was a good line.
I didn't expect it.
Me neither. I certainly didn't.
When I was texting with him last night, he said, is Ty okay? And I was okay.
He knows. Yeah, he's aware.
He knows what's going on.
I flushed that one quick. I was so fucking drunk by the end of the game that I didn't even.
I mean, the third quarter tweets were some of the funniest internet Ty has put together in a while.
Well, once they had a legitimate shot to win the game, I was like, all right, nerves are kind of kicking in. I need to kind of multiply the booze intake. So I did.
Remember, you're not drinking during the week anymore.
No, I'm not. So you got to make up for it on the weekends.
She brought that up this morning.
Oh, boy, was that
this morning.
You missed a hell of a combo this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, oh, yeah, people love getting fucked up. Like, I like how booze tastes, okay? Like, sue me. Like, I enjoy the taste of a nice whiskey at night,
Sorry.
It has nothing to do with, I can't wait to get home and get fucked up. It's like, you know what? Booze tastes incredible. I love it.
You might be the first person that I heard say that.
Since he's like, look at him, he's like 90-year-old inside of this 27.
Just a little more context. This was at 9 a.m. after polishing off an ice cold Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, he needed
What day is it? It's Tuesday. He's got 4 more days.
He needed a fully leaded Dr. Pepper at 9 a.m. this morning.
I did. I've been drinking a lot of Diet Coke. I needed something unleaded.
Hey, we're proud of you.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Keep it going.
It's not an easy fight you're fighting right now.
It's not.
But look at you being better.
That's right.
Maybe. I don't know. No, the amount you're dumping into yourself.
Well, no Packers game this weekend, so I won't go overboard. I don't need to drink a whole bottle of Jack on Saturday just to do it.
So hold on. Do we fear that how with salary cap gymnastics,
sure,
they give a signing bonus up front and then they spread it out throughout the remaining years of the contract?
Right.
Do you think now that you've moved to the weekend, do you think the signing bonus of the weekend amount of booze is maybe more than if you were to spread it out over the entire week of boozing what you used to do?
Potentially, but my wife had to work on Sunday morning, so I had to get up 6:30 a.m. I had a day by myself with my daughter, and she doesn't stop moving until she goes to sleep. So I basically said, like, hey, don't do that again, because I do not want to wake up and feel like I did, and that I can't stay in bed. Can't be a piece of shit today. You actually have to, kind of be an adult. So
look at you maturing.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
And he was aware about it too. On Saturday, he tweeted, I think, the biggest threat to me right now is blacking out during this third quarter. And someone responded and said, no, the biggest threat is probably Anders Carlson or something tied to that guy. No, it's me blacking out in the third quarter.
And who saved the day? Boom, Pizza Hut. Just getting airdropped in with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Ate an entire large pizza and breadsticks.
They always deliver.
Always deliver.
Oh. Yep. Thank you, DoorDash. Thank you, Pizza Hut.
Full large pizza, breadsticks,
I bet
and a
it tastes-
bottle of Jack.
How good was that?
It was
I bet it was so
unbelievable.
good.
I felt awful on Sunday morning.
Did you eat 800 Tums after that?
Your body is an atomic bomb. Oppenheimer would like to take a look at your inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
A full large, and you're not like a fat slob.
No.
A full large pizza, full breadsticks.
It was thin crust, so
Okay.
I mean,
good point.
That makes a difference. That does.
It does.
Let's get to a break. Ty, we're happy you're here.
Hell yeah.
Baby.
Let's cherish every moment we have with Ty.
Happy to be here.
We need to do that.
Obviously, we should, but yeah, we're gonna have him for a long time.
Of course.
Yep. You slow those down, though.
We can't be having too many Packers-Niners divisional round games.
No, we can't. Or we just got to win one.
Yeah, right.
Just got to win one.
You're winning that. The energy you would have had at the end.
Get another bottle.
I might have fucking went out and got in the pool. I might have.
Cold dubbing.
Yeah.
Look at you taking care of yourself.
I know.
Let's get to a break. This show sucks, dude. But you don't, Ty.
Hell yeah.
Same with you, Con Man.
Wow.
And you too, Tone.
Yeah.
D-Butch, obviously.
Yeah,
he's great.
Look at this fit.
You don't
Good
suck.
fit. Well, who knows if that's true or not. Fit's great today.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have French toast this morning or pancakes?
Actually had a waffle from
Oh!
Yeah.
but I did bring a
15.
box of donuts.
Yeah, why'd you do that?
It's a challenge of discipline in here.
Yeah, you
You
did.
guys been getting after it in the Hawk House, been shooting, been running around, get some cardio in. Just wanted to
Chuck
test-
Pagano does this every fucking week.
Yeah. Challenge.
Chuck comes in, he brings 5 boxes of donuts.
Too many.
He goes, guys, from me to you, it's like, Chuck, we don't want it.
Don't need
We're
it.
all trying to not. Come on.
Everybody walked by him at least 2 times, and I saw about 4 hands going there.
Which we would like to tell these young bucks going into the NFL, when you're taking trips to teams and they potentially have 4 or 5 boxes of donuts available, somebody's watching that box to see who's eating them and who's not. I appreciate that Darius has brought scouting for the NFL into the Thunderdome.
Very nice.
He knows who to sign. He knows who doesn't have a lot of discipline. I have sniffed those things, certainly, and closed my eyes and imagine what they taste like.
Sure.
And I move forward.
Good.
That's how
Delicious.
That's how you do it.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Take 5.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again! It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit.
City of Stars, Boston Connor's here. We will be there tonight. Nobody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up. I didn't see him. Hey, I'm Pat. Nice to meet you. He's hanging in the back.
One second.
Who's not going to be in here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Let's go and take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back.
He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours.
I'm be coming down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's going to be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are going to be there.
Just waiting, you know, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment.
It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I think there's like 3 people I know here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
Won't fucking say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You going to be in LA?
I don't know. George is, you know.
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know. George, you don't know. Maybe.
What's up, stud?
Oh, nice.
As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end university tank top, I knew there was a chance old George was about to do something special.
Yeah. Are you kidding, boys?
Welcome to WrestleMania!
You know, the night was getting late.
We weren't sure.
We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one.
All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a
match,
just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God.
There it is.
And I put out an open challenge, and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome!
Let's go!
Wait a minute! I feel McAfee's here!
I have walked out into a stadium as a WWE superstar probably 1,000,000 times in my head.
WrestleMania was missing Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee Show!
And I'm thankful to the WWE Universe that said hello whenever I came out on that massive fucking stage.
By the way, there's only 2 announcers undefeated in WrestleMania history, me and Pat. I can't believe McAfee's here! Hello, beautiful people!
What's up, Snoop?
What's up, Snoop?
You're a legend, dog. You're the best, dog. Hello, Miz. None of us saw this alleged open challenge that you said. But good news. This is my WrestleMania tank top. If you still would like a match, why don't you let me beat your ass right here, right now?
You all want to see The Miz versus Pat McAfee right here, right now? I'm the host of WrestleMania, and I cannot make matches official.
Miz, I do believe your tiny balls are showing. Tiny balls. Tiny balls. Baby meat as well. There's
80,497
people here. Somebody has to be able to make a match official somewhere.
I am the dog father and the host of WrestleMania, so I feel like I could make that match happen. Right now, we got a ref, we got you, we got you. Let's get cracking. I'm out. Let's go.
And McAfee go right after Miz with the right hand, driving Miz back into the corner. Pat McAfee in action.
This is a blatant sneak attack. He takes his duties as host of WrestleMania.
Oh yes, Buster!
This derelict shows up. And
check out his tank top though. He's got sparkles on it.
You're behind this, aren't you?
But no, I had no idea. You said the same thing in the Rumble. I didn't know this guy was showing up. Oh, what a kick by McAfee!
Miz.
Hey, baby boss! Baby boss! Tiny meat!
In a $7,000 tuxedo.
George Kittle in the San Francisco Francisco 49ers. I'm not sure how wise that was. McAfee's got the official distracted in the ring. Kittle just took out Miz. Kittle telling McAfee to go up top. McAfee heading up to the top rope. And taking out the Miz. Now we're talking. Miz may never win another match. McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory. Surprise here tonight at WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
That match was awesome. I had so much fun there. That was a good time. The punt was fucking hilarious. You got a tiny ball champ going. I had a feeling. We were sitting here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you.
Of course. Nobody fucking texts
I was
you.
told not to text you. You had a hell of a show.
I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all.
5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. Joke of an existence. I'm very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Why? Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you, Owen. I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this tight end Big Business Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. Hour 3 starts now. Football! It is beautiful. Football is magical. That man's won a championship in college and in the professional level at football. That is A.J. Hawk, current president of Ohio, also the money man behind the $13 million that has been spent by the Ohio State NIL to build a super team in Columbus, Ohio. Way to go, A.J.
Congrats, A.J.
Yeah. Money well CJ Stroud was part of that, huh? CJ's donating some money.
Allegedly, $50,000 to $100,000 has been donated by CJ Stroud to the collective. I believe it was reported that's the first active player that has donated back to Ohio State to keep it going. If that's the case, congrats to CJ loving the Buckeyes and being very faithful and loyal to the Buckeyes because he's made a lot of fucking money for the Buckeyes through his play. So him giving back, wanting success is a beautiful thing. And if Ryan Day can't win with this team, AJ,
it's over.
You had some pressure before. Now they are already crowned them champs because they have all these great players coming in, man.
I saw Schlegel and Bobby Carpenter, and that was literally the caption. If Ryan Day can't win with this team, it's like
already going.
Oh my God! I mean, fair, of course. And obviously, I hope they have
started practice yet for next year.
Yeah, I'm hoping they have success because I love the fact that they're going all in and paying everybody a lot of money. Anytime players are getting paid a lot of money, I'm a fan of it. When the Yankees were just buying everybody and giving them a certain thing, I'm like, yep, they want to win more than everybody else does. The Lakers seemingly did that for a while where they were just getting all the best players. So I enjoy whenever players benefit from somebody going all in. But boy, if you don't win, there's a lot of things. Told you can't buy a championship. Got to earn it. Like that is just coming quickly. And Bill O'Brien's up there as well.
Yeah. Look out.
He's got a little NFL pedigree.
That's
national
right.
champion pedigree.
Del T. Kettle.
Caleb Dahn's best player in football is pretty much going up there.
Henderson's back.
Got a quarterback, number one guy.
Yep.
We got Quinshawn Judkins from Ole Miss.
We got Chase McLaughlin playing center.
No silent counts.
They got Bama center.
Yep.
Yeah, no silent counts.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Hey, you go under center.
Yeah, get under there.
Need to go under center.
Get low.
Let's get him comfortable. Let's get him not thinking about anything else. Let's go under center in here.
He's a good guy.
And
He's
get
a
him
good
on.
guy. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He's a sweet boy.
We love that boy.
He's starting center for an SEC champion
Bingo.
team. He's a good football player. He's up at Ohio State. The Talks Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Not a bad day to comment.
No, not a bad day at all. You know, sometimes you come back up here before the start of the third hour and it's like, man, we suck. But today I haven't thought that today. Today I got up here, I was like, pretty good. This has been a good one.
Yeah, I have similar thoughts all the time. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. We've been a part of some wrestling news, some business news.
I fucking love today.
Yeah, me too.
Today?
Every day.
Let's go. It's probably the best Tuesday we've had in a long time.
Okay.
That's not true.
See?
That's not true. We had a real fun time.
Last week, Mitch Morse came on.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, oh, it's Tuesday.
Last
Tuesday
Tuesday was good too.
Yeah.
The one before was super fun. It was after the national championship. We were all tired.
No,
that one got loud. That one got real loud.
That one wasn't.
I thought that was the slap happy one.
And then the Wednesday afterwards, then that was when, this guy woke sellout coward. So then it was everybody on earth was seemingly at one time.
You had to bring this up, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
I said it was a
Hope
great.
you're happy,
Your
Tony.
fucking what's your
Oh,
big
I
idea,
said
Tony?
it was a great Tuesday.
And now
Thanks,
you're
Tony, but
ruining
you know
it.
how this show works.
God.
Yeah, that's why you did it.
First year here.
You son of a bitch.
Tony, you said earlier in the show you've been here for 7 years.
You actually were the one that gave us the exact date.
Yeah, but in my brain, every year is a new year.
Did you see the?
Yes, every
Strikes
year is
midnight every night.
Well said.
Holy shit, that was good.
Speaking of being a new year, Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams were on Saturday Night
Bingo.
Live. Good skit.
Good skit.
Good skit.
Wait, they were just on? I didn't see it.
No, it was.
Well, nobody
this past
I mean,
weekend.
yeah. Gotcha.
It was good. You should watch
mean
it.
They parodied their conversation? Okay,
Yeah, I
I'll check it out.
legit popped a few times.
Oh.
The lady that played Cat Williams,
Town.
real good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good to know.
yeah, it was. There she is. I don't know who
Okay.
that is.
That's Cat Williams.
Well, she was a method actor too. I mean, she was in.
Oh, yeah, she crushed.
She was really.
Who
good.
was Shannon?
That's a good question.
That's another great question.
Because
Also good.
Keenan's not there.
I think Keenan.
I don't pay attention enough to
I don't know the cast anymore.
Me neither. I used to watch Saturday Night Live every single Saturday night before the game on Sunday. It was normally the only thing on.
Yeah.
Super late night. I'm not the best sleeper, so I would watch. Here, it's
Whoa,
good.
why they got Shannon so fat?
Well, that's another thing. I told Unc about that earlier today when we were doing the first take. It was like it was gonna be a tough time to find somebody.
Because nobody is Shannon. There's nobody like Shannon alive that is so big and so jacked and so ripped.
The Rock, who was on first take today.
True.
And Shannon actually asked him, Rock, you think I would have been a good professional wrestler? I think I could talk. And The Rock in his head was like, yeah. I didn't know that Shannon has 2 replaced hips.
Me neither.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Both of them. I had no
Damn.
idea. Yeah, he brought that up as a reason why he couldn't do it at this stage because everybody was like, you still could absolutely do it. He's like, I don't think so. And then Stephen A., I think, was pitching to be manager of The Rock.
Yep.
If The Rock is to return and take on Roman, which we should ask Nick Khan. Bad interview, should have done that. But today can only get better. Can only get better.
Amen.
Because there's one thing that makes us smarter.
Hell yeah.
There's one thing that makes us a more informed football fan.
Right.
And there's one thing that every single week we look forward to with our friend, Darius J. Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Everything DB presents Good D, Bad D.
Yeah, boy.
Let's do this thing, D-Butch.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll start with the bad D. Start with the bad D. We will start with the
best Jordans too, by the way.
Which ones?
They are. I agree.
Yeah.
First
What he's
Jordans
got
I
on?
got as a kid.
Most comfortable ones for sure.
I had the black ones with the red bottoms too, man. Those were I didn't let those things touch outside for years.
Yeah, I got the black on white, and also the classic white on blacks there. Those are the most comfortable ones in my eyes.
They give me every time these come back out. Gotta have them.
Like Hoka's?
Not as
Just like
comfortable.
Hoka's.
CM Punk was wearing Hoka's last night.
Fuck!
Did you see that? What are you mad about? That's a good thing.
Yeah,
What's wrong?
He got in the ring. I was like, "There's no way that guy's wearing Hoka's right now." He was wearing Hoka's. I'm like, smart.
I thought
play.
Hoka's were just for like marathon runners and triathlon.
No.
Well, if you're potentially going to go kick ass too, you put those
It's an
on.
all-performing.
CM Punk's wearing Hoka's?
Yeah.
In the ring last night, yeah. I was like, oh, goddamn,
all-performing
Hoka's doing it right now.
You're not a Hoka guy, anyways.
I am a Hoka guy.
You're
but
Municipal.
No, I'm a Hoka guy, but I'm an American Nightmare guy. So that's crushing.
They did go bar for bar last
That was a
night.
good show.
That
on
is
Netflix.
crushing.
That was unbelievable.
I'm going to have to switch to OnCloud. Fuck.
You watch that on Netflix?
I bet you American Nightmare, when he's not wearing his highly, phenomenally tailored suits, slip on some Hoka's.
No, it doesn't matter now. Not if his rival is.
It's not his rival. I mean, everybody. It's about to be WrestleMania.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. This guy on the right's got Hoka's. I stand with the man on the left. I'm not fucking around with the guy on the right. I'm going to just get out.
CM Punk. Now, I know you haven't been a wrestling fan for a long time. CM Punk would be a guy you would like.
Yeah, he had his time, but it's Nightmare's time, baby. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on the Punk.
Nobody calls him that.
What do you mean? He's the Punk.
Him wearing Hoka's though was a mind blower to me. Like, holy shit, Hoka's doing it.
Just want to be
Christian
taller.
Michael Punk.
How often was Roman Reigns fight?
I don't think that's a good. What's that?
How often is Roman Reigns fight?
There's a lot of conversation about his schedule.
I saw the new WWE 2K said you go and play with him once a month.
Okay. Well, that's
look,
the internet.
Tony.
Don't you dare talk about our tribal chief.
Get out of the table, you son of a
Our
bitch.
tribal chief has earned to fight only the greatest. And coming up this weekend, actually, Royal Rumble, somebody can earn an opportunity to face him at
Down in
WrestleMania.
Florida.
Yeah, down there in Tampa, I believe.
St. Petersburg.
Hey, huge week for WWE.
Massive. Pump for the Rumble. That's
Yeah,
like one of those, like Ty mentioned, like the premium live events. That is one of the top of the top.
Who's going to win?
Have no idea what the fuck's going to happen in that thing.
Oh, it is
Literally,
gonna
as WWE, there's a chance.
Jackie Redmond.
WWE superstar Jackie Redmond?
Maybe Doudrop.
Also possible.
I think Doudrop has a different name now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she does.
It's not Piper still, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay,
I
okay,
think
yeah.
it is Piper.
That's on me.
It is, because remember, I think I was on commentary whenever she came back as a different name. And
I forgot about that.
Michael Cole goes, Piper! And I'm like, excuse me?
That was last year's
Excuse me?
That was last year's Rumble in San Antonio. That's when that was.
That is Doudrop. And we are massive fans of Doudrop. That was wild. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still with WWE or not. I have no idea.
I think she is.
Royal Rumble, though, everybody should be watching.
Cannot wait.
It's this weekend. Good week for the WWE.
What's it on?
Peacock.
Peacock. Oh yeah, Nick said that today.
In America. Now,
correct.
Globally.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple different things. Sony India is where if you were traveling this weekend, you'd watch it there.
WWE Network if
in
you're
Canada.
in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, Saudi is in Peacock still.
No, I assume it's WWE
I
Network.
don't think NBC is huge in Saudi Arabia.
We don't know.
It could be. It
Yeah,
could be.
we have no idea.
They love Diane Sawyer.
Yeah, maybe to watch nightly news with Lester Holt.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
Yep.
He's good.
He is.
Right before Wheel.
When he's talking, you know shit's real.
Yep.
Yes.
Where's Lester at? Well, he's in a different country. That's crazy. He flew all the way there to do what he's doing right now, sending it stories in other places.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that he went there.
Well, he had to follow up. I mean, Brian Williams was getting RPG.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, American Nightmare.
Well said.
Pat, American Nightmare on Netflix. Give it a watch. It's good.
Well, Cody Rhodes, obviously, yeah. Anything with him involved is going to be good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a new
He's the
Netflix
American
doc.
Dreams kid.
He is.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
is.
he's the boy.
New Netflix doc.
Yeah, it's the true story of Gone Girl. I refuse to watch it.
Okay.
That's not what it is.
That's
No
not, it's
shit.
definitely
That's
not.
basically what
That's
it is.
not what it
okay,
is.
lay out what it is.
It's a crime documentary on Netflix
About?
a kidnapping. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I'll watch it. It's called American Nightmare, like Cody Rhodes.
Three parts though, right?
Three parts, 40 minutes each. Easy watch. Did it last night.
How long is each episode?
40 minutes each.
That's not bad.
Only
No.
four?
It's a great watch.
I did it last night in a night.
That's the right move, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's start doing more of those.
2 hours.
altogether.
Boom. Knock it out.
And you feel like you're accomplishing something whenever the first one ends. Oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Oh, I'm into this.
Yep.
I'm going to grab a snack.
Bingo.
This is fun. Let's keep
Phone break.
Boom. Second one ends. It's like, got to finish it.
They pull you in pretty quick.
Netflix is dealing right now. Netflix is dealing.
So it's not Gone Girl.
Well, I don't want to
That's
give it.
how
I
they
don't want,
promoted it
it's
on
Gone
Netflix.
Girl. It's the real story behind Gone.
I don't want to give
The
it away.
trailer on Netflix says that's what it
That's
was.
what people at the time were calling the case because the movie had come out at the same time of the kidnapping, and it was who
Can't give
did
it
it?
away.
Did she do it? Did he do it? Did
I don't know
the
these
third party
actors
do
here.
it?
Those are real life.
Yeah, those are
the
the
real
actual two people.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah, it's a real life.
We got a Dateline going on?
Yes.
Bingo.
Oh,
It's very
I'm in.
good.
Yeah.
I am 100% in.
Okay.
You know what else I would like to watch?
Bingo.
What's that? Some bad
Some
deeds.
terrible deeds.
Yeah.
Let's do
Me
it.
too.
Good games this past weekend. Obviously, everybody was tuned into this one. Second quarter, 3:38.
How many people?
Second and 10. What was it? 50
million people.
Million.
Lot of TVs.
I hate Taylor Swift. I hate the Kelseys.
She was
Hey,
definitely
are
on
you
the camera
mimicking?
after this play. Grab cover 3. Obviously, we've done this all year. 4 underneath, 3 deep. Cornerback, free safety. Cornerback would be the 3 deep defenders. Now up here, gonna have a quick out route from 12 from Hardman. Deep 7 route from Travis Kelce. Once you get into that bunch as a corner, getting more depth, you are responsible for this deep third. Micah Hyde kind of sold that disguise, I think, a little bit too long. Should be in the middle of the field. Boom, he bites up on that short out route on 2nd and 10. You leave Travis Kelce, 87, wide open for the deep 7 route. Wide open touchdown.
When I was younger, we called this a smash, and it was literally one of the most
basic
used
concept.
How does that happen?
Same thing. Now,
One in front, one behind. That's what they do.
There's levels to this shit. Yeah, there's levels to this
Simple.
shit. Why did he do that right there? Was he trying to hit somebody in the face, you think? And then he blew a kiss?
Yeah, he that there was the corner out earlier where he didn't get it and they kicked a field goal.
He was open.
He kept running in the front row. Bills, a lot of birds, a lot of fuck yous.
okay.
So I assume that was a fuck you right back.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
Kelsey's from Ohio. People forget.
About it.
Love it. I think early on, Dane Jackson, I believe this is, getting depth will help him. And then Terry Johnson, nickelback, I think him not getting as much width, not getting, because you do have the little hook route right here from the other tight end, kind of holds him. So maybe Jake Jackson feels like he's, open, but you got to get back there in that deep third. You got to zone it off. You got to see that throw. And obviously be aware of where 87 is at all times, especially down here near the end zone.
Why is Micah so low on the not bunch side?
Great question. So pre-snap, this is the passing strength, so maybe it was going to be down left, and this will be the post safety. And then once that motion goes across, the passing strength changes from the defense's left to the defense's right. So then you go down right, nickel over there, boom. You see some communication going on here. Actually, nickel's lined up here to the field already. And then he just gets back. On the snap, he opens up and goes to the post. But I think he should have just, been there, obviously, pre-snap.
Oh, shit.
I don't think he makes that play either way. That play is 100%, in my opinion, on the cornerback.
If it's 2x2 like that and the wide receivers are to one side and NFL defenses typically go strength the field, wide outside, quarterback's arm, Kelce.
So I talked about it last week, something Joe Barry did, actually the wild card week when they played against the pick that Savage had when they played against the Cowboys. Yeah. Oh. So this is actually initially away from the passing strength. So this is nickel right, so he's aligned to the field. And Poyer here is going to drop in and be that hook defender. So right now, depends on the defense though.
Yeah.
Some play callers, and it depends on the timing in the game plan for that week. Sometimes we're going to call more field. We always had an option. It could be cover 3 stay or cover 3 run. And 3 stay will be aligned to the field. We would stay there regardless of the motion. 3 run, we'll start one way and we'll run with the passing strength.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to watch whatever the fuck Lamar does here. I don't know what you picked, but I can't wait to watch it.
And that's the same mindset with defenses. When you're calling that play, you don't know what the fuck this guy is going to do. Right now, we're down here, 2nd and 10, third quarter. We go split safety here. Now, split safety, you're going to have, so on paper, you got a linebacker here. Hey, you're responsible for 8. You keep an eye on 8. Split safety, you're going to see both of these safeties go to their respective sides of the field. I think you want to be in as much single high as possible down here, have a little more eyes, a little more bodies in this box. Ravens spread them out, quarterback draw. Now you got Gus Edwards. He's going one-on-one with this linebacker in the middle of the field. Oh, no. Safeties are wide open to their sides, and no is exactly right. You got 8 in the middle of the field, and you know how this play is going to end up. Tough sledding right here.
There's a guard uncovered there too.
Everybody, man, that's a tough thing, D. But like, you get how do you ever play man or match against Lamar? Like, you got to be scared to death to ever turn your back.
Absolutely, you got to have obviously spies. You got to have people with zone eyes watching the quarterback, and it's tough because obviously we know Ake can throw the ball. He can throw the ball well, but you got to beat me with these receivers outside of Zay Flowers. Likely is kind of becoming the guy. So this left side, I believe it was Aguilar and Bateman on this left side. And now it's easier to say after the fact.
That's Linderbaum.
Those guys got to beat you back
head
there.
full of steam.
So now you got safeties coming from damn near the end zone. Too late. Linderbaum climbing. Gus Edwards one-on-one the backer. That's tough, man.
AQ's not going to be showing that one, but even him just running full speed at the guy gets him to hesitate. Give Lamar enough
Great
time.
play call. Great play call. Last year, Jalen Hurts and that Philly offense would kill teams. They'll just get down here in the red area, have a pass, have a QB draw option. This is a called QB draw.
They beat the Colts with it.
Yep.
And the Bills.
Game on the line.
And the Bills.
And the Bills. Had a big one of the Bears on a big third down in that game. Yep. So this quarterback draw is a weapon. Every quarterback kind of becomes a scrambler in the red area. Every one of them, from Brady to probably not Manning, but like over the years, every quarterback would kind of extend plays and become some type of scrambler. Obviously, when you have a runner like a Josh Allen, like a Lamar Jackson, they become more of a weapon down here. So right here, boom.
This isn't fair.
Perfect example.
He shouldn't be able to do this.
Perfect example. Fourth quarter, 2nd and 1. So obviously we're geared up. The Texans are geared up to stop the run. It's on bad D, but honestly, Stingley does a hell of a job being in coverage. Just the run, you'll see the linemen do a great job of not getting downfield. You know, that healthy 1 yard that they give them. They do a great job of doing that while also selling the run. Lamar does a great job selling the run as well, tucking the ball, looking like he's a runner, and then obviously rising up and becoming a passer. Like I said, Stingley does a great job fighting through traffic, great leverage, outstanding coverage. And it's just a great ball. It's an intentional back shoulder ball to Isaiah Likely. Throw it up to the top shelf, make him stop. Boom. Back shoulder 7 route.
They literally just move the pocket 15 yards to the right.
Yeah.
Just move the entire pocket.
I mean, how are they going to? How is anybody going to be able to play them when Mark Andrews comes back?
Look, and then they just stop. All right, we'll go right here's the pocket. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Obviously, Andrews is an unbelievable weapon in the pass game, and he can block his ass off in the run game as well. So it's tough to match up with these guys.
He's their one.
And Buffalo did a good job running the ball against KC. So be interesting. But here we go.
AJ, how do you stop it, pal?
Watch A. So if AJ's in that box, and shit, everybody else is really it's a 2-man route, likely, and I think that's Aguilar backside.
Oh, geez. I mean, look at the coverage. The coverage is pretty legit. He just does a great back shoulder ball.
Great coverage. So like when you run this play, if you're doing this on red zone day practice on defense, and you know this is whoever your scout team quarterback, that's whoever your scout team tight end is. Oh, yep, perfect. We see that play on Sunday. Great one, great position, and they were. But you know, big time players make big time plays. Definitely
Likely's a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dog.
Likely's phenomenal.
Also only 23.
Come on. How about a guy we just had on the program?
Oh yeah, another weapon. So you'll see, as you see every week with the San Fran offense, shifts, motions. Green Bay is going to bring some pressure here on 3rd and 5. Savage ends up flat-footed. I don't know if he expected the ball to come out quick. Usually when you're sending zero pressure, which they are here, you expect it to come out quick. 26 get kind of caught flat-footed. Kittle runs right by him. Then Brock Purdy escapes that pocket.
Check down.
On the run. Boop.
Throws a check
on the
down.
money. Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, anybody could do it.
Both of them are open too. Look at behind Kittle. I mean, who is that? Ray McLeod, also wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, anybody could do it.
2 in.
You're bringing zero. You're bringing zero, D. But you guys are expecting that ball to be out. You're squatting on the sticks, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think Purdy was pretty clean. Like I know he escaped and made this throw a little easier, but didn't even have to do that. So San Fran did a pretty good job picking it up with 6 guys in there. But yeah, as a DB, as a cover guy, you're sending all these blitzes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're sending 6. You're expecting to come out quickly.
That's where you can get a jump on a ball. That's where you can get a pick.
That's where you think.
Yeah, but instead, George Kittle's over your head.
Yeah. If you go to Wild Copy real quick, this is something that was in the Dallas game as well against the Packers when Jordan Love was on offense and he threw that touchdown to Wicks, I believe, on Gilmore, 36. So when you are that extra guy, right, and he probably has C-Mac, I'm not sure what like this guy has to blitz for me because when you're here, when you're kind of in that middle, in that no man's land, you're not helping any. You can't help me deep. You're not helping me getting after the quarterback. So if he's up here kind of near that line of scrimmage, you just call it add-on, whatever the name was for adding on to the pressure, and you become that extra blitzer, you become that seventh rusher, that's obviously going to make it a lot hotter on that quarterback, and he can't just extend his play. Because to AJ's point, when we're sending gas, we're sending pressure, a lot of time as DBs, 3rd and 5, Savage may be thinking, hey, I may be getting a quick breaker at the sticks, and then the guys just run past you. But great execution right there offensively.
You know what we're doing now? Great execution on our defensive side.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what time it is?
What's that?
Good day.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
I like this. Little trickery, try to get him.
Loved. Hey, little trickery. Great. Now, this is great individual effort right here from Geno Stone to make this play, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And obviously, great individual effort from Roquan Smith as well. But watch this defense. Trick play. Pause it. You know, Michi can barely get that pitch back. It's amazing he got it back to C.J. Stroud, but, you know, they're on point with the deep one. They're on point with Singletary out here, and now you'll have a running back down here. You let it play, receiver down here. So you're setting up the screen nicely. Even Hamilton, watch Hamilton with the tight end going up late. He'll be in position to cover that guy. Yep, so everybody's kind of in position. Now it's 3. Oh. You got 3 offensive linemen on this one safety. So it's dialed up perfectly for Slowick once they get a great individual
outside,
effort.
right, D-Butt? He's going outside because he knows he got 10 of his buddies running inside out. If he goes inside and takes the easy way, who knows what happens?
Absolutely. He could easily just, hey, coach, you know, it's 3 guys. You know, they got me. We got the big play. Instead, he triggers, goes outside in, AJ's point, grabs that ankle, holds him up, and zero, you know, hauling the ass off.
Yeah, look at where Roquan Smith is when he throws the ball. That's absurd.
Roquan's in the middle of the field.
He's at the logo, yeah.
In the middle of the field when this ball is thrown.
It's team defense, huh?
Team defense. You know, a great effort here. But you draw this one up. Once again, in practice, this is what you want. 3 guys out here, a lot of space. Boom. And look at these guys. All these big fellas are running to the ball. Keith running from all the way to the other side of the field.
Kyle Van Noy.
Great effort.
Keith Van Noy. Where'd that come from?
Flores.
I love this here. I love what we're doing here. Hey. Lions.
Let's go.
Send in 5. A lot of fire zones. You can see it again, I believe, this week as well. Brian Branch, one of my favorite young players in the league. Got a motion to a 3-by-1 set now, but everybody's on point. Everybody's now a couple iffy. The first sack he got, they were kind of all over the place on the back end coverage-wise, but you got home, you smacked. Baker Mayfield was getting smacked this game, and this is another one. Great pass blitz, great pass rush from Brian Branch, good coverage on the back end. Everybody's on the same point, so back end coverage is on point, and then up front, dialed it up, got home. It's a little better from the back, copy the blitz patterns.
He's been doing this all year, too.
Oh, yeah, he's a weapon. He's a weapon in coverage, great in coverage, man coverage, zone coverage, great ball skills, a great blitzer as well.
Led the team in tackles this game.
Oh.
Still a reach.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with White here.
Yeah, stepped on?
Maybe him and Baker.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Bruce started towards ACL when we were watching earlier.
Bruce got a good keen eye.
Great rush.
During the game, I thought.
Open up Bruce's eagle eye. He's Mr. Bruce.
D-Bot, was that their first drive? I think that was the Bucs' first drive, and it led to a 3rd and long, and that's where CJ got the pick, too.
It was one of the corners got a sack on the first drive.
That
was iffy. If you got
okay, wrong one.
First quarter, there another sack coming.
Yeah,
from a DB.
And CJ got that tip pass.
Oh, it was a tip.
Back to Bake.
It was a tip.
Tips and overthrows. Gotta have them.
Oh, buzzsaw coming in hot.
3rd and 8. We see it all the time now. Now we're going to get a motion. He's going to come back here. He's motioned across, and then Aaron Jones going to motion out here to basically create a bunch for this offense. You got Fred Warner here. We got box. So right now it's half up there. It's quarters down here. So quarter. These deep outside, deep inside, short outside. Fred Warner is going to be short inside. Right now he's holding his disguise with that blitz, helping out the front, and then he's going to get out here and be that low inside defender. You got the box, and we see this route a lot on here. Little shake route, cross your face, double post. It always beats this quarter's corner, right? Boom. Good job settling. Could have settled even more. Great job by All-Pro Mooney. driving it, making a play, big time play on 3rd and 8, obviously keeping them out of the end zone.
That's been a touchdown for everybody.
Touchdown. It's a tough route to cover, especially against quarters. When offenses know they're getting quarters, this is one of the toughest routes. Double post and scissors.
I was shocked they threw it there. Well, I guess, that was the route there, but they were picking on 2-0 early in the game, early and often.
Oh, yeah.
Fred and Greenlaw, too, in the conversation, obviously, best linebackers.
Look at them, Pat. That's what I'm saying. Look at their body angles, how they get out. They're showing. Watch them get out and like their lean and their the Z's in their knees, as you hear coaches say sometimes. That they get out with intention and they're passing this off beautifully. Like they just, they know what they're doing.
Their sense of urgency and just awareness. They play a lot of zone, knowing exactly where they need to be, and that helps you so much as a DB, knowing your backers are always going to be on that same page, especially when they can hold those disguises like that as well. So Warner and Greenlaw, Smith and Queen. They're kind of. It's right there up and down.
They're playing pretty good ball.
Pretty good football.
That game is going to be so good.
So good.
Niners-Lions.
So good.
And so is...
Yes, true. So is Ravens and...
Do you already know who you're picking?
Yeah.
7 points now it's up to for the Niners-Lions.
Yes. Yeah, I already know who I'm picking.
You know who you're picking?
Yeah, Lions for sure.
Let's go.
For sure.
What about George just came on the program?
Love George.
Lions to win or Lions to cover?
Love with the 7.
Oh,
okay.
I'll take both.
I still like them to win.
You like Lions to win.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Georgia?
This is Goof's
I didn't like
time.
how he attacked.
Hey, good for the brand new Lions, dude.
Yeah,
and
that's
Goff's
awesome.
going home.
So there was this thing on Sunday, like, we need there to be an Eli Manning of this, this generation. We don't have that this year. And Baker was what everyone was pointing to. Like, Baker's, no.
It's Goff.
The Eli Manning is Goof. Yeah. The Eli Manning.
His name's Goff.
The Eli Manning
Goff.
is Jared Goff.
There it is.
That is who the Eli Manning of this generation is. So if he were to go, because
I do love that all of the fake names are becoming kind of confused in your head.
yes, they actually
You don't know what people's real names are.
No, not just players. Like that goes for
Sports media people.
everybody across the board. I like it. I enjoy it. I feel like I'm turning into Lombo.
Hey, there's been more sports media people taking shots at us that we're going to see at the Radio Row.
Now it's becoming fun. It's
Yeah,
like,
me
I think some people might forget that happens.
We'll be live, too, just wide open. I'm excited for Radio Row. We'll be there Super Bowl week like we have been for the last few years. We love it. ESPN, I don't think in the past has sent anybody really to Radio Row. It is the Super Bowl. It's
the best.
Radio Row is the Super Bowl.
Gotta do it.
See everybody, though.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Got a PTZ on the desk that I control, by the way. So as we're live. Oh, look who it is.
What's up, you sack of shit?
Gonna have that microphone stage again?
You have to. So many, we run into so many friends at that thing just accidentally. They'll be walking by, shelling for some company.
Right.
Grab a mic, great catch up, good conversation, they keep it moving. And then we're always worried, because we've said things about people potentially. This year, everybody in there has seemingly said something bad.
Shoes on the other foot.
We're just going in there.
Turntables turn.
We're going into enemy territory at Radio Row. all of a sudden. That's
Making it
awesome.
ours.
Keep it going, by the way, you old hags. Keep it going. I love it. I love everything about it. It should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
We all have
It'll be a
no
lot of fun.
Plus, we'll have a couple Vegas nights.
Exactly.
Roll into those mornings.
Right.
Those will be good.
We'll be pretty wide open.
Exactly.
Show will be pretty slap happy.
Wide.
Yeah.
Boy, Super Bowl week is coming up.
I know.
Can't
right
wait.
around the corner.
I am so excited.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Be 9 a.m. local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early.
It's fun, though. I like those ones.
Yes. Vegas, too. You get
Because they'll, rent the houses, everybody up early. We got coffee. Who got the coffee? How's everybody feeling? Where's insert name of somebody that went a little bit too hard last night?
Sure.
Anybody got eyes on blah, blah, blah? Is Mitt still alive?
Yeah.
All right,
No.
great news. Somebody needs to find him. It's like Home Alone in the morning.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
I mean-
heading to Paris.
Yeah, I'm worried about one particular person that hasn't experienced the Super Bowl with us yet.
Yeah, old Talk.
Being the first one being in Vegas for Talk, I don't think that bodes well for him.
Talk's been batting 1,000 though. He's been putting together these hype videos
Oh, yeah.
for TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
Batting 1,000 right now. Way to go, Talk.
Let me go.
Talk's a dog.
Talk is a dog.
Unless
Sweet
he's flying,
boy.
unless he's flying private, then he's kind of a prick bag.
Take a dump.
Takes a dump on the plane, tries to blow it out of the sky.
It's amazing.
And he falls asleep immediately afterwards. Somebody flush that for me.
Please? Wait, you can flush on these
Let's
things?
talk about the brand new Lions show.
Brand new Lions.
Keep living your best life, Talk. You're burning
Talk.
well.
Piece
Hey,
of shit.
you too, Derek Barnes. Keep living your best life. 2nd and 5. Obviously, a game on the line. Game clinching interception right here. Going to have another fire zone. run it back. Another fire zone, pressure coming off this edge. So 5 blitzers, 6 in coverage. And, I mean, this is a textbook drop. He's going to get out, once again, showing that this guy's in the line of scrimmage. Get out, little reroute, and then just circle back and kind of feel the route behind him, get his eyes back to the quarterback. Great ball.
That's a drill. That's a drill you do in warm-ups, pretty much.
Basketball.
Literally an individual drill for linebackers as far as when it gets to that drop. Just a great job. Obviously, a huge, huge moment in the game. Took him 3 years to get one. 3 years, long time to get one. And he got on the biggest stage.
Hey, do your job. Do your job. The play don't care who makes it. You never know when the play is going to come. Derek Barnes has been waiting 3 years for this. Obviously, his story is a phenomenal one. We learned from Witt. And then in the biggest moment for an entire fucking city. Perfect technique, perfect execution. Give me that.
Such an MCDC guy.
Great play.
Great play. Is that Anzalone with the pressure?
Yeah, D-Butt. Aaron Glenn's dialing it up right now, isn't he?
He's dialing up. And you know, quarterbacks have been throwing for a ton of yards.
Yep.
You know, ton of yards, but those pressures add up, especially in these type of moments in the game. And then when you create turnovers, I think having CJ back there, another kind of Swiss Army knife, a guy that can blitz, a guy that can cover, a guy that can have ball production. Him, Brian Branch, they can dial it up and make some big time plays. Obviously with Hutch.
Who's visor? White.
Starting things.
Oh, that's the number 70.
What's
70?
That's a hell of a play by him.
79.
Skip playing both ways.
Kaminsky.
Kaminsky.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
He was so big out there.
He was 80 yards
The
down
visor.
the field
Yeah,
against
he's
the
awesome.
Ravens.
He's a dog.
He called. I mean, he's a big part of this.
Yes.
Junkyard.
Absolutely.
Dog.
What a play.
Hell yeah.
Brand new lines.
Hell yeah,
Let's
Lions.
go. Thank you, DB.
Yes, sir.
All right, D-Butt, before we end this beautiful Tuesday, which has been pretty jam-packed.
Truly.
Jam-packed.
Has been jam-packed.
Start to finish.
It's been a fun day today.
It has been.
Why don't you send some people off on their Tuesday as maybe winners of $500?
Holy shit.
Yesterday we had 30.
Jeez.
500, so we're not going to do that again, obviously.
No.
Today, 20, though.
Okay.
All you got to do, D-Butch, is just put that basketball into...
Which one?
Which one, yeah.
Let's go this one.
Wow, longer shot. D-Butts is choosing, but he has been shooting into this hoop a lot.
Yeah.
Yesterday, him and Boston Connor in a three-point shooting game had maybe the best performance we have ever seen in one round in the history of the game.
Yeah, we've been playing it for like 6 years, too. It was unbelievable.
Perfect score would be 40. They had 28. And it's only counting by twos, so only 6 misses out of 20 shots. It was phenomenal. And now, D-Butch has a chance to drain one more. What's one more?
That's nothing.
One more.
For 20 people to win $500 to send this Tuesday into a glorious fashion. D-Butch! Bonus ball. Does it make its way back too? No, Jabba says get out. D-Butch said fuck Jabba. Okay.
I stepped on the floor.
There we go.
It's lava, dude.
Lava.
Do that. It's lava, dude. That was a show on Netflix, right?
Oh, yeah. Floor is Lava. It was a great show.
How did is it good?
I think
They did one
2
season.
seasons.
Yeah.
2.
Anything goes on there will get watched, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, for
No
sure.
matter what.
Now we go Raw on there. What a play.
Pumped.
Good for Netflix spending money on live stuff, sporting stuff.
Smart.
Getting into the game. Speaking of getting into the game, why don't you get 20 people into the game of life a little bit better?
Let's go, D-Butt.
$500, 20 people. All you got to do is put the ball in the hoop, D-Butch.
Simple enough.
Easy. Cash! Enough power somehow, seemingly.
Yeah, these are good-looking shots.
Yes, with just a standard jumper there having enough power, I don't think any of us could have predicted that tie.
Not at all. Not at all. But D-But's, he's got the fresh J's on today, so it kind of makes sense.
Sweet fit, backwards hat. Darius trying to make 20 people happy with $500 potentially going to their account. All you got to do is make it. Whoa, that's the one.
Oh, man.
That felt good coming off. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you really hucked that one.
Yeah, I thought we were having glasses shatter.
The explosivity out of your hand here is something I don't think anybody has fully been prepared for. You've been in the Hawk House.
Gotta make one. We gotta make one.
Beginning of the season, you were golfing bunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
No way beginning of the season you're able to get that ball to that hoop in the way that you're doing it.
It's very weak.
Golf season's done up here in India. I'll tell you that much.
Bingo. And you put the work in.
Yep.
20 people are going to benefit from that hard work whenever you put that ball into that hoop.
Come on.
Right over there. $500. 20 people.
Glass. Yep, that's glass.
That one sucked.
Brick. Off the board.
That one was bad.
That makes noise. 20 people, $500.
Wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't meant to be.
Hold on.
Oh, well, maybe you give it a shot this way.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Darius Butler is able to make this first shot into the soup right over here, 25 people win $500.
Got it.
There it is.
Not as easy as it looks, people.
Nope.
Not as easy as it looks, even for the finest of athletes.
That's right.
Nope.
It's a shame.
Got 30 yesterday.
Yeah, that's
30 winners yesterday.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
People were saying they were getting greedy, so they couldn't win today.
The universe said it?
Yep.
Tone, today you said you've been on the show for 7 years, 1 year. Every year's a new year.
Bingo.
You've been crushing it.
All those things are true.
Bingo. The 1 year thing, not.
You're in the moment. You're in the moment, Tony.
One of the Saturday Night Live, Cat Williams lady said, Shannon, I know 3 things to always be true. I'm 5'3", I never lie, and I'm 6'3". And then they cut it right afterwards. It was, I'm telling you, really well done. Really, congrats to Saturday Night Live.
Congrats.
Maybe they're back.
Maybe.
Still doing it.
Maybe.
It fell off?
Well,
that's what Ty say, you know.
Yeah.
Ty's good buddy Colin Jost is still the head writer, right?
We love Colin.
He's awesome.
I wouldn't say he's my good buddy. I'm fairly close with his wife. You could say.
No,
But,
that's right. Who's his wife, Ty?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah.
You guys broke
Never
down,
heard of her?
Broke down her cinephile.
There has been a conversation between Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost about why the fuck did you leave me with that guy?
Oh yeah. We had a great conversation though. We did.
I watched the whole thing.
You know,
It looked like it.
I touched on a lot of obscure selections in her film catalog that she probably doesn't.
I'm sure
talk
she was
about
pumped
very
to hear
often.
that.
She was.
Absolutely.
But hey,
I
we
came
bought,
back-
we bought a Zoo is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
True.
It is a great movie.
Yeah,
Exactly.
love that
Matt
movie.
Damon.
We bought a zoo.
Yeah.
That was an awesome story.
She's never talked
All you need
about
is
that.
5 seconds of courage.
Yeah.
Or 10 seconds of courage.
Boom.
I think is the
Yep.
in the whatever it is.
Yes.
I think I came back from the bathroom, and it was the tail end of whatever was going on, and I saw, and I think my wife and I were like, "That's it, good for Ty." You know, he's probably in his bag. And then I go over to the group, and they're like, "Ty has had Scarlett Johansson trapped in this conversation for 10 minutes."
I wouldn't go that far. She could have left whenever she wanted to. It was very amicable.
I agree. Colin, everybody at that party was so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And AJ gave a speech.
Good job, Age.
Way to go, AJ.
Good work, AJ.
Yeah, not really. But I did. I walked by and comments like, "Oh, I would love to hear this conversation." And I looked over Connor's shoulder, and it was Ty, and it was ScarJo, and I was like, "This is not happening right now." And they continued to talk for 10 minutes.
It was not real life.
I
Any of
mean,
it.
if you got 10 minutes,
Yeah.
talk to Scarlett Johansson. You talk to
I
Scarlett.
was gonna say, when am I gonna get that opportunity again?
Boom.
I'm not. So
We know that to be true now.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Now we know.
But hey, very amicable with you.
Yeah.
it was.
Both sides, parted ways.
Gorgeous.
Happy. Let's move
Yep.
on to the party. Colin Jost is the dog.
Yeah, the man.
I enjoy him. He's at that golf tournament, right?
Yeah, he plays in Tahoe.
Well, excuse me.
What?
The American Century
The
Championship.
American Century Championship out in Lake Tahoe. Yes.
Doucher.
Yeah, it's not just Tahoe. American Century Championship pays millions of dollars for it to be
They
American
do.
Century.
They do a great job as well.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a beautifully run thing. I don't know when we'll be back at it, but
But we'll never forget the times we had.
we had great times there.
Yep.
You got to commit to 2 weeks pretty much of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have a week-long hangover from walking. Your feet, your body.
But
It's a beautiful.
it's convenient
views.
though because now that you're hosting the ESPYs every year, you go straight from the
I
ESPYs.
don't think that invite's ever coming again.
Straight from the ESPYs to Tahoe.
Just, you know. I don't
know.
I don't think I'm ever going to get invited to that one or the honors ever.
What about the Golden Globes? Didn't Joe Coy do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's time to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Brought the
this
house
is the
down.
time.
This is the way we
No
start.
This
chance.
is when we get out of here.
I didn't see it.
Huh?
You gave Bob a nickname. Of course you're going to host it again.
Bob Father, I don't think he's the one. I mean, obviously he's.
That's a good point, D-Butt.
Yeah. Up front.
I don't know if I was necessarily the nicest to the people that run the ESPYs.
Well,
I had heard that they were not thrilled with me potentially being a part of the ESPYs, so, you know, I'm the type of human who's going to remember that, hear that, and act accordingly.
Sure. So be it.
And that's not normal, I guess, in all these things.
They'll probably have Blocky doing next year anyway.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope they get Mike.
He had a big part this year.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he did.
It was great to see him. I took a shot at tequila with Travis Kelce, Mike Block, and maybe Paul Walterhauser.
That's
Could have been, yeah.
great.
That's a good.
And I think Joe Hayden was there as well. The ESPYs was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like a very cool group.
Joe's always really cool dressed, so
We're never getting invited back, though, boys. Need to have that one just understood.
whatever.
It was fun.
What's done is done.
Yeah, it was. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here. D-Butch couldn't win anybody any money.
Nope.
But D-Butch will be back tomorrow. AQ will be back tomorrow. I think we have a packed show tomorrow as well. This has been a fun week. As seasons are ending for people are having a little bit more time.
Sure.
To potentially stop by and chit-chat. There was somebody who was in Peru that might have made an appearance this week, but lost contact, so we assume in the next couple weeks we'll be on the program. People have been saying they want to come on the show, which is cool. That's not normal, I get a lot of people that say, I'm sure people won't come on the show. It's like, that is not the case. We actually do not experience that. But now we are a little bit starting to experience people wanting to come on the show. Great news.
Yeah.
That's good news for everybody. And we're lucky to be here. AJ, great work today, pal. Boys, way to kill it today.
Hell yeah.
Good day, Pat.
Hey, watch Self-Reliance. Self-Reliance is legit. No joke. I'm a fan.
I
really
watched
am.
it.
You watch it too?
Yep.
Good movie.
Did.
Thumbs up. Even, I saw Talk's review.
Come on, Talk.
I give it a thumbs up.
Doc, what the?
I think so too. Like, you have to get in the proper state of mind.
Sure. Which he said.
Which he
did.
Very upfront about. Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't know.
Yeah,
Talk's,
it was. It
Talk's
honestly
making
was.
these bangers right now. Talk's making movies too.
Yeah, he's Scorsese. in his
Yeah,
mind.
so he's starting to maybe. Oh, Jake Johnson's trying to do what I do, make movies.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Look at this Detroit Lions hype video. Boom.
So
look at
good.
Look at this Baltimore Ravens hype video with some Kodak. Boom. So that's where Talk's coming from. He's coming from an Emmy award-winning
Yeah.
editing, directing,
Who he is.
creating world. He couldn't just take it in. He has to judge everything.
Bingo. He looks at it through a different lens.
Than us. Have you seen it? He
does.
No, not yet.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Tonight's on deck.
Congrats, Jake.
Jake is good. Jake is good. Anna Kendrick, she's great. What a great actor.
Love her.
Always is.
Interesting role there, huh? That was quite a little.
Whoa.
Don't ruin it.
The hell?
She seems like she's a professional. She's very
I know
good.
she turns at the end.
Don't spoil it.
No.
The fuck?
You were wrong. You were wrong.
What the hell?
Watch the fucking movie.
I'm gonna, because I definitely still have Hulu, even though YouTube TV, I deleted Hulu. But I'm gonna.
Saw a lot of people say, "Oh, great, gotta pay for Netflix now. Watch Raw."
You don't have.
Just wait.
They're gonna up the prices every single month now. Okay. Well, they have been doing that since the beginning.
I was gonna say that absolutely is gonna happen.
Yeah, it started at $7.99. I think it's at $23 now.
And that's why they were able to pay $5 billion for 10 years.
Exactly.
And I think that it's probably only going to continue. Remember, there was a time where Netflix was losing a shit ton of money because they were just spending. And they said, we'll develop later for subscribers. I think they've gotten to that point. Good for them.
And then they did the thing like, hey, no more 5 people on one account bullshit.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
Cousin Greg.
Yeah. Also, boo-hoo. This ain't a fucking soup kitchen. All right. You want to watch something? You gotta pay. You gotta pay to watch it. That's
Agreed.
kind of the way it goes.
True.
Agreed.
All right, we're out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Let's never, ever forget that, okay? And let's keep moving forward. Goodbye.